Freedom, I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe. And I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift
the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
motivation to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, we go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
chance to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came yourself for once. Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow doubt, and I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. 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 Oh, we can fly again.
Atomic particles traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature. close to the speed of light is a kind of elixir of life. Because time slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for the halfway mark of the season at Watkins Glen. We are stateside yet again. We've gone over the pond and we're just outside of New York for this fantastic race circuit. Mathew Duffin here alongside Dan Davis, lover, fighter, game changer. I'm running out of things to say about you, Dan, each week. Evening.
Oh, Max Mulder crossing the yellow line already. Good start, mate. Good evening. Hello, everybody. Hello. DJ Phil nearly doing it as well. Clearly haven't watched my video. But either way, good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the US of A. Well, she's now doing it as well. Lovely jubbly. We're in New York. It's lovely blue skies. I've got a fat headache, so I apologize if I'm not in the most enthusiastic mood here tonight. And we are at one of the most dreadful American circuits on the calendar. Matt, what do we think of Watkins Glen?
I think you summed it up then with the word dreadful. Yeah, I think you summed it up with that word. Me, Monkey Boy, Bozzy Boy, Emplava and Rabbit Joe did a 4-hour race of this on Assetto Corsa the other week on the PC for Simplay Racing. And again, dreadful. It doesn't matter on the game. It is just a dreadful circuit. It is one of the American circuits that, when you look at it on the track map, it doesn't look a bad track, but it's just too tight, it's too narrow, there's not a lot of overtaking. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Nor me. It's just dull. To be honest, if I'm honest, it's just a dull. But hey-ho, we are here, we are racing here, and yeah, nothing like ACC. Is the complete opposite on Project Cars.
It is the complete opposite on Project Cars. Yeah, I could 100% tell you now that myself, Liam, Joe, Monkey Boy, and Emplava have all said the same thing about this circuit going from ACC to this. It's a lot tighter. It's a lot trickier on this game. So if they, if you come away with results tonight, this is a lot trickier on this game than it is on Assetto Corsa Competizione. So just keep that one in mind. But we are here. We are stateside, Dan. We're back in. We're near the Big Apple. We obviously come back to America a little later on this season for our final American race. I do believe the final race of the season at Daytona. I do believe that's the last race in America this season. I don't think we come back again. But 4 visits to America this year. Is it 4? Laguna, Cota? Yeah, 4 visits. This is visit number 3. And probably, like you say, the worst one of them all at the minute. But Watkins Glen, it's cold. It's midday. It's very cold temperatures here in New York. New York, very similar to back home in England, where the temperatures are around the mid-teens, low teens at the moment, Dan. So it looks, and it probably will be, for majority of these cars, a soft tyre race.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So soft tyres will be out, hards will barely be touched. But either way, it's going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. We do have some great racing here. Even though it's not the best of circuits, we do seem to have some great racing happening here. And to be honest, the way we're talking over this circuit, we might as well just go and do a
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for another track guide here.
Quick around here.
Yeah, so if you would like, we are going to get his track map. We're going to get his track guide on in just a moment. So please just bear with us for this one, because for some reason I seem to load it up every week.
Good evening.
Ready. And then when you press live, it goes back to the week before.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another track guide here at Simplay Motorsport. We're at the next round and the halfway stage of the season, and we're back in the US of A here at Watkins Glen, just outside New York. A track that's 2.3 miles long, an elevation change of 35 meters high, open 1956, and a grade 1 with turns of 15 and goes around on a clockwise circuit. As we head down towards turn 1, this is where most of the opportunity is going to be had into the race. A lot of opportunities to overtake into turn 1, into the corner which is known as the 90. And as it states, a 90-degree right-hander, which can open many opportunities as you then head up to the S's of turn 2, turn 3. But we go back to the 90, and obviously one of the most easiest opportunities to overtake. Down the inside, the Simplay Acura goes down through and passes the BMW, but making sure he has to have a good run as he heads towards the S's. As he comes up towards the S's now, kind of a Spa, Eau Rouge and Radeon kind of style corner, where he comes up and down in elevation changes and is known as the S's. We'll do the whole sector here as we then come down towards the back straight. Great opportunity for fast-paced cars to try and get a good slipstream and head towards the inner loop, also known as the bus stop chicane to most of us, but on the track map it's called the inner loop, which then chucks yourself out into the outer loop, into the end of sector 1. And as you can see, the different changes of elevation up the S's, it goes blind once you get up the top. It is pretty much flat all the way through and all the way down towards the back straight. A great opportunity to get a great slipstream, a great toe towards the inner loop. And if you have a good opportunity and you're brave enough, you can launch it straight down the inside and try and outmuscle your guys around you, but it's very unlikely. Making sure you stay with trail limits with 2 wheels at least on the curb. As you then go into the outer loop, which has a slight banking to it, as most of the corners here does have a slight banking to it. And as you can see here, the Aston Martin looking down the inside of the Agora and can't quite get the job done. It's really tricky to get a move done there, but if you're lucky enough, you can catch people out into the outer loop if they've not had the best run through the chicane or the inner loop. As you can see here, the Simplay Agora with a better run through the inner loop gets a better run on the outer loop, and because of that slight banking, it's allowed to go right around the outside of the Porsche 911 and then get the higher ground, which then leads into sector 2. Into sector 2, the chute, as it's known as, is this really awkward off-camber downhill section where you come into a left-hander and the car just always wants to lose the rear end as it's struggling to find traction. As it then heads into the heel, another banked corner and very easy to take a lot of speed into there. As you go back through the chute, you can see how the car is having to ride like a roller coaster through this section. It's all moving downhill. And again, the chute is a good opportunity to get a move done. If you've got a good run through the outer loop, you can then lean into the inside, but careful you don't run too wide, as again the car will naturally want to drift wide. As you then head towards the heel, like I said, a banked corner, so you can throw a lot more speed into it as the car will slow down as it hits the banking and try and get a good exit up towards the top of the hill. And again, another opportunity to get past, but all these opportunities are very tricky to pull off because you do need to execute them very well as it goes down the inside of the BMW. Down the little straight known as the boot, it then launches you straight into the heel, turn 8. As you see there, down the inside of the Mercedes, and through we go there, up towards turn 9. Very difficult corner to get right as the car is moving and changing position of its axis and trying to get into a comfortable position. The car's always moving about. Then into 10. And into 11 as well. Very fast couple of corners. This whole circuit is very high paced track, and definitely a circuit where high speed is going to be looked at, and power is another thing that will help the guys out there. And once again, if we have a look through this whole sector again as we go towards the heel, into the heel we go as the Simplay Agora tries to get a great run through there and then head up towards turn 9. And again, look at turn 9 again. Look how much the car has wanted to move about, dance about, is really struggling for grip, and it gets it done. Then leads into turn 10. Very easy to run wide and take too much speed, as you can see here, but the Simplay Agora planted to the ground and keeps a great run through there. And then finally into 11. And if you get a good run out of 11, it will then lead you towards the start finish straight for a good lap time. But also another thing to keep an eye on is track pit entry. You can see there, right hand side, the red cones, in that white line you want to be, and into the pit stop you come. You can take the corner as normal, but as soon as you've committed to the pit stop, you stay to the right hand side and get it stopped just before the red cones. Towards pit exit is the green cones, release the off the pit limiter and making sure you stay on the right hand side of the yellow line. Do not cross into the path of other cars. As soon as the yellow line is clear, you are able to take racing line. Be obviously aware of other cars on track. And that is a lap of Watkins Glen. Best of luck to the guys here tonight. Your lap records are as shown now. Your pro is done by Andy for the qualifying. Race was done by Onward for Dubs. Laney for Pro-Am and Quali. And a race for Ben Parkey. Best of luck to the guys here. We're looking forward to racing the US of A once again in a halfway stage. All the points count. Back to the guys in the comms.
Yeah, cheers for that then, Dan. Absolutely great to see and great to hear. We love the track guides as always. What a fantastic job that Dan does. Dan, you do a great job, I must say. Another job that Dan did this year, we found the information together and Dan managed to put this lovely little graphic together. As you can see, Season 7, rounds 11 and 12, Watkins Glen, halfway stage of the season at the end of tonight. So who will do what? The track information then. The circuit, 2.35 miles long, 3.782 in kilometres. It has an elevation change of 35 metres, that's 115 feet. It was first opened in 1956, which is one of the older circuits we come to. It is an FIA Grade 1 circuit, so technically the Formula 1 could come here. I'm pretty glad they don't, because for reasons we said before, it's got 15 corners, it is a clockwise circuit, and as Dan said, Andy and himself, the qualifying and race record for Pro and Laney, a 1:42.9, the record for these drivers to beat in qualifying, and a 1:43.2 from Ben Parkey in the race. They're pretty much pro times, Dan. We know how good Laney and Ben Parkey was and was in Pro-Am because of the fact they was brand new to the championship. The same season I was in it, we know how quick they are. They are pro. They are pretty much pro lap records, aren't they? I don't think we're going to see them beaten tonight.
I don't really think so either. I don't see the pros being beaten either. I think that was obviously Andy at his peak in the BMW. Yeah. I think it was midsummer as well. So it was probably the best conditions for the BMW. And obviously I think it's very much a BMW circuit. You need a good traction in most of these most of the track anyway. But the other interesting thing, obviously 4 records there on the table, and 3 of them belong to the McLaren here. So the McLaren in history has had a very, very good record around here. But looking out there at the minute, it looks like all the chassis cars are looking the strongest. You've got the Acura of Dean out in front with Ukbar in the Ginetta, currently in second, with Brin in the Ferrari in P3. So already showing that power isn't everything around here. I did say in the thing that power could be a helpful thing, but by the looks of things, it's all about the chassis. And I know for a fact in testing as well that Peaceful Explosion in the Ferrari has been looking very, very good around here. And just to go with it, Shane and Bryn are up there in the 2 Ferraris. The Porsches at the minute lagging behind a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they'll be able to get their selves going in a minute as Monkey Boy struggles to make the inner loop. But it's going to be an interesting night.
That's one way to up your time, isn't it? It is going to be an interesting night, and I'm wondering if these Acuras and chassis-based cars are that bit quicker compared to the Porsche because of the conditions. I'm wondering if the temperatures just helping these cars out as Ukbar there. Low fuel you see there, a 43.5, so a low fuel run there for Ukbar to start his session off. Max looks like he's got some damage on that car. He says in the chat that it's first time and he's struggling. You don't want to be out there, and championship leader, which we'll get into in just a moment, is having a tough one time. Most poles and most wins, multiple drivers on one, because we've only been here once. Them drivers, for example, are, if I press the right button, we'll be able to find it. Here we go. Laney, myself, Andy and Mike with 1 pole position apiece, and then Laney, Maze Gamer, Unorthodox and Ben Parkey all with a win to their name. So Dan tomorrow night, arguably, with Maze Gamer, Ben Parkey and Laney not being here, Dan, 1 win tomorrow, could become the most successful driver at Watkins Glen, and I'm sure that, Dan, you're looking forward to taking the claim of being the best around Watkins Glen. No, I didn't think so. As we move into the champ.
Well, me and you both know we've been doing testing, and as you can see, Max here at the Audi is struggling, and wherever the Audi in Pro-Am teams struggle in the hands of Leon Fernie and Max, it tends to relate to the rest of the Audi drivers, and I'm really not feeling confident. With no big brazier either this week. I've really been struggling to find any pace in this car. I managed to finally get on the pace of the Ferrari boys. We just don't know what overtake is going to do tomorrow. But Max, at the minute in the Audi, just seems to be trying to struggle to find his feet here. Same here with Leon Fernie. But it's going to be an interesting one. 1 win tomorrow. I don't even realise I had a win here.
Well, you do now, according to the stats. You do have 1 win to your name. Shane pops himself in third then. Well, yeah, well done you, Dan. Round of applause for you there.
I don't remember it. I just remember fighting with the McLaren. That's all I remember.
Everybody in the chat, let's give Dan a massive round of applause for his 1 win here. Into the championship standings then we go, and it looks a little like this. It's Max Mulder leading the way, 65 points clear of KLF 900, with Shane only 14 points behind Kelly. Shane in P3, he's doing bits this season. Monkey Boy back this week for his 150th race appearance. He's on 119 points, one behind Shane. Bit of a jump then to Argent, who is 25 behind Monkey Boy then, and can he close that gap? Rabbit Joe 9 behind him, with Dean Musaki now down in 7th place. Needs to get back into his earlier form this season. 4 behind Rabbit Joe. P8 DJ Phil Green on 78. Ukbar down in 9th, tied with Leon Fernie on 69 points. And Buzzy Boy, after a superb week last week at Dubai, catapults himself into P11. Bryn is kind of slowly having hit and miss races. He sits in 12th, some 5 points behind Bozzy. He's 5 points clear of Smithy, who's 2 points ahead of Welshie. Stelsoft down on 39, and Lucas Roth remains to be a mystery this season. In the Constructors' Championship then, it is SRL Racing Team 15 points clear of Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros then. Excuse me, with the Super Crash Bros 86 behind, so it's really a 2-horse race, but the Super Crash Bros obviously trying to look to come back into this fight. SFA Akora P4 on 151, with Wakasaki Racing 3 behind them. 1 behind Wakasaki Racing is Terminal Velocity Racing on 147. Simplay Racing down in 7th, and then the MC Motorsport bringing up the rear. 378 Drivers' Championship points up for grabs, and 658 Constructors' points up for grabs going into this one. And 2 things can happen in this first race. One of them that will be Monkey Boy's 150th race start. The other one could be the Porsche's 50th race win. But based off of the times at the minute, Dan, the first Porsche is down in 8th place.
A Rabbit Joe, arguably, I think, my dad's not going to like this, but I arguably say the best Porsche is Rabbit Joe. He seems to make this car work at the minute. But Kelly's not far off his pace. He's only a 10th off. So Kelly will know the fact that only Rabbit Joe is currently in P8. So the next Porsche isn't any higher. The next one is Monkey Boy, and he's only down in P11. Then it's Welshie, and then it's Stelsoft. So the Porsche not looking all that strong here, and I think it's going to be a repetitive thing. Powered cars here don't seem to be able to carry their power around this circuit. So a lot of work for the Power Boys in the Porsche 911. But there'll be circuits that come more their way later on in the season for sure. 100%.
That bodes well for tomorrow night, Daniel.
For sure. I mean, if I can get the Audi to work, then yeah. And your Mercedes even slower. Lovely jubbly.
Yeah, not a power circuit, so the Mercedes should not do anything around here. Dean Wasocki then. Sorry, the man in P3 at the moment, Shane, 3rd in the championship so far, not far off the back of Kelly, and some 79 points off the back of Max. Based on the pace difference at the minute, he's in a real good position so far, Dan, to maybe upset the apple cart and pull himself a bit closer in this championship fight.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace at the minute, but just as you know, just as everybody, you know, lap time's one thing, doing it consistently is another. So especially on a circuit like this, I think it's very easy for guys to make a mistake here, especially with the elevation changes of some of the corners, like turn 1, for example. It's going to be a really tricky braking zone with a tricky curve on the inside as well. Also, with Shane coming through this sector now into the chute, this left-hander is a right pain for some cars. It's actually making my Audi lose grip on the rear. And then there's also turn 9, the uphill left-hander as well. Turn 9 is where most people have been struggling and losing the rear. So I think it's going to be a race that really depends on who makes the littlest amount of mistakes and who can come out on top by the end of the night.
100%. That Buzzy Boy, obviously, late in the session, yet to get a lap time in, and he'll get 1 inch. Maybe we'll get a second run. Now, this isn't the NASCAR. You may have seen that Kimi Räikkönen raced around here. Oh, now that's a big spin for old Caroline. And he won't be singing his song about that one. Into the wall goes Argent 22 then, into that wall there. Dan, obviously, Kimi Räikkönen raced here in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, whatever name they want to give it. And you sent me a link to this on TikTok and sent me the link on YouTube or whatever. Track limits. Let's talk track limits, because we love track limits here. We're very strict on the track limits, and we're very watchful on the track limits, as Kelly found out last week with a few of his penalties. But the NASCAR's here. Now, the track limits here is the 2 white lines. NASCAR decided to ignore the white lines, ignore the curbs, and just think, that's a bit of concrete. I'll use that bit of concrete.
Well, let's take, for example, where the stewards will be watching. Rabbit Joe goes into turn 1, obviously. Oh, thanks, Rabbit Joe. You absolute legend. Is there a car in the final sector? I believe there is one car ahead of him. I believe that's we'll stick with Arjun anyway.
Yeah.
We'll stick with Arjun. So as he comes into penultimate corner, into the final corner as well, this corner here will be one of the places they look at. A big switch there from Arjun as he goes over the curb. But again, like Matt states, the track limit is the white line. So as Arjun goes down the main straight now, it'll come to turn 1, and in the clip that I've seen with NASCAR, they don't even bother trying to make the white line. So you have to stay. You put 2 wheels on the curb, but as Arjun just does then, he bounces over the curb and goes out of bounds. That will be looked at to be classed as a strike. So you have to keep at least 2 wheels on the curb, but if there is no curb, at least 2 wheels within the white or yellow line, as you see there, yellow was just on the side. Same with the inner loop, the chicane. Don't really want to see people cutting the grass. Get at least 2 wheels on the curves. The good thing is these curves are massive, so you can take a lot through there. This really, you don't want to be out wide anyway, so you won't need that runoff area as such. And if Arjun is watching and please finish the lap, that'd be ideal. You are an admin, so finished. You've been told to finish. Again, all this sector relatively easy. There's grass, there's walls, there's all sorts, so there's no real advantage. There's then coming up into the heel, the next opportunity where you could run wide and take advantage. A corner that's very awkward as well, so make sure you stay within limits. As you can see here, Arjun coming into that sector now, you see all that lovely runoff, very safe indeed for racing, but obviously you do not want to go past that curb. This horrible left-hander, I actually hate this corner with a passion. Yeah. And then obviously here, for that sector there's the curb goes out wide, but you can get right onto the curb. This is the final opportunity to keep an eye on, and Arjun goes well out wide, and that's what you do not want to do. You have to make sure you have at least 2 wheels on the curb, and he's also decided to cross the white line into the pits.
I love the fact that Arjun there just deliberately, on purpose, I can guarantee it was on purpose, just thought he chose the track limits. I guarantee that wasn't Arjun's normal line.
He's been told to do that.
He's been told to do that. Instructed, and well done, Caroline Argent. Fantastic from you.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
He gets paid?
Oh, wait, did we not discuss that with you?
Oh, no. Either way, what's quickest at the end of the session from Dean Wysocki and Shane then as we head into qualifying. Dean Wysocki and Leon Fernie cannot qualify. They have a qualifying ban, meaning they will have to start at the back of the pack. 15 drivers on this grid. Dan, tip for pole. Ugbar. Thanks, Dan. I'm going to go.
Whoa, look at these two.
Leon Fernie has came out here for qualifying and has got himself a grid penalty. I don't know if you want to message him on the PlayStation, Dan, but he has a qualifying ban and cannot qualify here.
I'm on it. I can't talk though, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
Especially with my brain power at the minute.
Who will take pole position then? We are getting the poll out there then for you guys to vote on. And we'll go off the top 4 drivers from the practice session, but we'll add the championship leader as well. Obviously, Dean will not be in that one. Obviously, Dean has a qualifying ban. Leon Fernie should go back into the pits when Dan messages him as well. He should not be setting a lap time. He got 10 penalty points and has a qualifying ban. Bozzy Boy and Monkey Boy not yet out on track as well. Them two was teammates in the Aston Martin the last time he was here. And Bozzy Boy gets himself a grid penalty, so it won't be a pole position for him. Clearly forgot the pit limiter in this one then, as Leon Fernie still out there on the circuit. He's just pulled to one side now. I'm taking it. He's seen Dan's message and has returned to the pit lane. The problem is, because he's got that grid penalty, Dan, that's going to put him on the back row of the grid, and Dean's going to gain that extra place.
He is indeed. But starting last isn't the worst thing in the world. Can be a benefit. You avoid all the problems. So at least he's got my message. He's come back to his thing. I've got PlayStation on my phone, innit?
Yeah, so it is a good thing. Monkey Boy. still in the pit lane. I think he's coming out now, just come off the limiter. I think that's the car we can hear. Ukbar on his current final lap. Dean in the chat, he enjoyed that one, he says, and based on his pace, if that was race pace, then that looked good pace from him, especially if he can keep it up.
Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. As Ukbar comes up the hill then, and this hill is going to be crucial at the start of this race, Dan. We saw in Pro-Am a couple of seasons ago, some blue and pink Acura decided to just touch the curb on the opening lap, spin, and cause absolutely mayhem behind because it tightens up. Don't know who he was, but he lost it up the chicane. That's going to be a crucial part up the hill at the start of this race, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think also the problem is with the start of the race, I found with doing the track guide with all the other cars around, the dirty air, even though the GT cars and really dirty air doesn't affect that too badly, but especially going up and down the S's, the car feels very light as you come to the top. It wants to snap on you, it wants to kill you. If you're on your own, it's not a problem. But when you're behind another car, the car, obviously the aerodynamics of the car is unsettled, the car is not stable, it's not able to keep its grip to the ground.
Yeah.
And when you've got a different elevation change as well, where the car's up, down, and side to side, it's not good aero-wise. So the car will feel light at the start with it'll feel very fast, because obviously you've got a slipstream. But at the same time, it will feel very loose as Ukbar comes into the final sector. And I really do think this Ginetta is going to be very, very strong here tonight.
Yeah, I got to agree with you as well. Good evening to Welshie, PN, Max Mulder, Dean Wasocki, N. Plaver, Mother Davis, Holty, Fury's granddad, Fury's mum, Chocolate Man. Looking forward to this race, he says, and Peaceful Stepdad. Good evening to you all, as we've just lost. Who did we lose there? Sloth. Hopefully he can get back in. And 27 people watching, 13 likes. Guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit that bell to be notified. Get your vote in through you think will take pole position then in this one. It's currently going the way of Ukbar. A couple of votes for Shane, nothing for Bryn, and 40% for Max. Well, here comes Bryn. Can he get it closer to the front row? No, goes P5 at the moment. Stealth Sloth back in. This isn't the online championships as well, so he's got to make sure he's in before that 2-minute mark. Liam back in the pit lane with that grid penalty as well. That is not exactly where he wants to be.
No, definitely not. Shane crosses the line and puts himself P2. Max towards the line now. What can he do? He goes top of the table, 43.9. So, giving all the talk saying he has it. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
All the talk of not driven around here, and he goes and drops it there, and he'll probably be back to the pits. Monkey Boy, the only one not to set a lap time at the minute, and that Buzzy Boy. But Max, top of the table, but only just. I reckon Ukbar's got a little bit more underneath him.
I reckon Stealth Sloth needs to do an internet test maybe because he keeps disconnecting. He's got a couple of minutes to get in the session. Ukbar definitely has a bit more in him. What does Shane have? Only 2 tenths to Shane, 4 tenths. Nearly half a second to Argy Bargy at the minute then. With Rabbit Joe only a second behind Max so far. Kelly, Bryn, Smithy. Oh, Ukbar bails to the pits and comes straight back out as, excuse me, as Max is back out as well. And still no sign of that Buzzy Boy at the minute, but just drivers, Dan. It just seems all a little patient and it just feels a bit quiet out there, doesn't it, for a qualifying session?
I think it's the nature of this circuit. You can't really attack it. You have to take time. Like all these guys coming across the line. Customers, Rabbit Joe goes higher. Bryn, I think, is the next man to keep an eye on to come towards the line. But it's one of those circuits that I think I explained it very well. Laguna Seca, like in the after show. With us, he basically said Laguna Seca, to be good here, you had to be patient. You couldn't you couldn't push the car at Laguna Seca, and I think it's the same here at Watkins. You can't force. As Smithy goes to P10 with Welshie now coming to
Bryn's gone into P3. Yeah, Bryn's gone into P3. Just a couple of hundredths quicker than his teammate Welshie, then up into P11. Monkey Boy's gone into P9 in his push. Dean in the chat, what is the pit window? The pit window is the end of lap 4 for the pro drivers. Max, you see there, trying to get them tyres into a good temperature and into a good window. He clearly feels that Ukbar's got more in the tank, and 3 tenths of a second, and from the top 5 we are in for some end of this session as Max there returns to the pit lane. Now then, Argent's also in the pits. Stealth Sloth back in the pits. Monkey Boy in the pits. Buzzy Boy's out on track. Max in the pits with 3 minute 8 to go, Dan. That isn't where I'd want to be.
I don't know. Depends what maybe he thinks he's done enough. I don't know, but he's coming back out. But just keep an eye on Izugba. If he nails this lap, he's got really clean air. If these cars stay out of his way, which they don't.
Stelsloff does, because he's ghosted, yeah. Stelsloff's just come back in the session, hasn't he? So Stelsloff's ghosted to him. So the next car for him that he will see is that of Monkey Boy then, just up the road. But Monkey Boy looks a little clear enough that he can keep in front. Now then, into this final part of the lap for Bryn. Meets the apex. Bryn says he likes Watkins. Glenn, he'll certainly like next week. It was his track, Sakito we go to. He picked it. Bryn down to the start line. Any more time? No. Bit down on his lap. Looking quick from Bryn. Rabbit Joe in the background. That was crossing the line. No improvement for him there. Kelly's coming out the pits. Smithy's in the pits. Not bad, DJ Phil. P8 say he didn't want to qualify this week.
Yeah, not bad at all. But the man will need to keep an eye on his distance. Shane, currently P4, 2/10 off. He needs to find 3/10 to put it on pole position here towards the line. No improvement.
No improvement at all. The car behind him, I think, was Welsh. No improvement from him either. Stays down in P11 at the minute, just behind his good foe, if you will, as the American tracks doing what the American tracks do best. Where is Ukbar then? Just through the hill and back up the hill. Now he's cleared Monkey Boy. Did Monkey Boy let him through there? I wonder. Bozzy Boy puts a lap in, 11 seconds off the pace, and then pits. So he's done for qualifying at the minute. And I'm not going to say what's on my phone timing screen-wise because I'm not sure if they're true. Either way, Shane's just gone into the 29s through Sector 1. Everybody else set in 30s through Sector 1. Ukbar purple middle sector, it says, but I don't know if that's true or not because I've only just loaded the timing app. We will find out. He might have been.
6,000.
Or he might have been.
6,000 off his best.
He's got one last chance, Dan. This is the big thing.
Shane is now in the middle sector, so we'll see how his times look later on. Argent's in the final sector now, so we'll see what Argent can produce here.
I think this is an outlap because there's no sector times for Argent coming up, so I do believe this is an outlap for Argent. Stelsloff slap track, Welshie and Smithy and Bozzy done. Leon and Dean could not qualify. Good evening to Gary. Bryn using all the curb on the exit of the corner. Green and green, it says on my phone. But no improvement there.
He messed up the final corner big time. He was on the inside. He was very, very tight to the inside. He just had a big wobble. KLF's managed to get out on track. This is his one and only shot, and he's gone as little fuel as he possibly can. So can Kelly put it on pole position here? DJ Phil in the middle sector.
Here he is, coming through the final corner then. Can Shane improve on his time? Maybe sneak onto the front row. We'll see as he crosses the line. He improves, but only good enough to take him P3 and 200ths ahead of his teammate then. Ukbar purple sector 1 and a personal best sector 2, as now Rabbit Joe goes purple sector 1 and Max Mulder goes purple sector 2. So for Ukbar here, what is he going to do in this one? Can he get anything out of it? Ukbar on the final lap will be the first man to finish. Monkey Boy behind him on a personal best lap as well, according to the timing screen. DJ Phil's in the pits. Excuse me.
Flying Dutchman always seems to fly at American circuits, no matter where we are.
Yeah.
America-wise, he's always there. And here he comes towards the line. Purple sector 1. Is it good enough for pole? No.
It's not. Doesn't improve at all. Monkey Boy behind. He stays P9. This man went purple middle sector. He improves and finds 2/10. Now then, Rabbit Joe, you was purple sector 1. What can you do? There's a car just coming down the start straight. Not sure we know who that is. Keep your eyes on the timing screen for a change. I believe it was Stelsloff going into 12th place. Bryn then, not the next man to finish, but will be one of the next two. Rabbit Joe's just behind Bryn. Shane's the last man to finish. It is Argy Bargy to the line. P5 for him. Goes second. What a lap from Kieran Argent. Bryn now. Can he move up back onto the second row? No, he can't. What about Rabbit Joe behind? He bowed out. Shane's the next man to do a lap. Is it? No, it's KLF. Who, that to me, he's bailing. Was very slow at the final corner. Now then, Shane needs just under half a second if he's to upset the apple cart here and take a front row start. I didn't expect Argent here, Dan, but is it going to be Shane to take it pole position away? No, he stays P4. I could tell you on my timing screens. Dan, talk us through who starts where.
Well, once again, Max Mulder carrying on where he left off all season. He is on pole position for the first race here. Alongside him will be Arjun in the Okora. On row 2 will be Okabar and Shane sharing that one out. Row 3 will be Bryn and Rabbit Joe. Porsche versus Ferrari on the 3rd row. 4th row will be KLF 900 and DJ Phil in 8th place position. And then on to the 5th row, KLF's teammates, Monkey Boy currently in a 9th place position with Smithy starting alongside him. And then down on to the 6th row, we have the 2 MC Motorsport teammates of Welshie and Self-Soft side alongside one another. And then we bring up the rear with that Bozzy Boy starting 13th and the non-qualifiers, Leon Fernie with that grid place drop will go up to 15th. And D will start to 15th, but move up to 13th because Liam has managed to get himself 2 grid penalty.
Yeah, he has. So by my calculations, Liam will be 15th and Leon will be 14th. By the magic click of the button, it does work itself out like that. So Liam will start last and Leon will start 14th. So Dean, qualifying ban, actually gains 2 places out of all of that one. And Max Mulder then takes another pole position for himself. That now is the Audi's 30th pole position. It is 7 behind the Porsche and the BMW. Can he, though, convert it into win number 38 for the Audi? The Audi this season then in terms of pole positions for himself, that is his 6th and now equals D Biggs and Green Pies for 6 pole positions. Dan, your tip for the race win here, my good man.
I'm going to go Arjun.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to go Max, I feel. Gary, evening to you in the chat. Beza_UT, second time watching you lot. Pretty fun to watch. Well, thank you very much, Beza, for the kind words. Evening to Jamie Brazy, who says, come on, Caroline. PN, remember to like and subscribe. Buzzy Boy for me. Not sure what that means. Yes, Caroline Argent, says Jamie Brazier. Sweet Caroline, says Fury's Grandad. And a very good evening to mine and Dan's I'd love to say close rival, but the man who's million miles away in pro. Good evening to the Overtaker. Nice to have you here, sir. Scouting for tomorrow night, if you ask me, Daniel.
Yeah, basically seeing how good my Audi is. And just so you know, Overtaker, Max has put it on pole. So mine won't be. Yeah.
More than likely to expect a Ferrari on pole tomorrow. Overtaker, that's your more worry.
I mean, he's got to deliver the good. He's got to deliver it. He's done it in practice, but he's got to finish his dinner.
Now he's not here tonight. He's karting. He's go-karting tonight.
Oh my God!
So if he gets battered and bruised tonight, he may not put it on pole tomorrow. Good evening to Joe Colclough in the chat. Rabbit Joe from Swansea University. Then we sync up. 3 lots of red lights. Green and go here at Watkins Glen. Max didn't move. Carnage in the background. That is Smithy and I think KLF 900. Dean Wisocki, Buzzy Boy, Leon Fernie, Stole Softball. Avoid that. It was Monkey Boy. Apologies then. Him and Smithy come together. Max didn't move off the line and Argy Bargy is already gone and sailing off into the sunset here. Shane Kelly's had a good start. He's actually up to 5th place. And for Shane, he's trying to fight on the back of football. All through the S's quite cleanly. Indeed they are. Dean and Liam have made up a place over Stealth Sloth and they now can follow each other through. The teammates trying to come through together. Max though, Dan, he didn't move at the start. Here comes Rabbit Joe. Porsche v Porsche. Kelly goes defensive and has to miss his brakes and get right out of that one. And he'll have to wait for Rabbit Joe to come through and he does so. And DJ Phil loses it in the background.
Yeah, DJ Phil. Leon Fernie in the wrong place at the wrong time. Stealth Sloth has hit him as well. Wrong place, wrong time as we go through, flooding through the chute, and already Max is cashing onto the back of Arjun. Ukbar is just on the background, a decent start as well. And KLF is trying to regain that lost ground. He lost to Rabbit Joe with Bryn all over the back of him. So kind of a messy start for some of these guys, but Arjun with the start he needed, and he is out in front. Meanwhile, Shane is giving Ukbar a hard time as they head towards the hill.
Yeah, as they head towards the hill, Shane looking around the outside. Ukbar just gets it on the break. As Shane right around the outside of Ukbar there, and I believe he's got the job done. Yes, he has. What a move from Shane there then. Fantastic scene from him. Liam's got past Dean and Welshie. So what is Buzzy Boy making a good bit of moves up at the start of this race. He's gained nearly 7 places at the start of this one. And Welshie, I'm not sure if that Porsche has a bit of damage on the front there, as Max now, at the end of the first lap, didn't get off the line well, but he's now all over the back of Argy Bargy. And can Sweet Caroline hold on to this lead as we start lap 2 down towards turn 1. Max is going to have a look. We saw him lose it here. Kelly, has he got a jump start?
He has got a jump start. I just saw a rear wing as well. So
Stealth
lost the rear wing. But yeah, Kelly, I think, has jumped it. We've been practicing our and I think he's just got a little bit too eager once again. 2 races in a row, the last race at Dubai and this one as well. Leon's in as well, as is Stealth Sloth. Obviously, Leon will have to provide footage that he has sustained a significant damage to the back of the pack now.
Yeah, I think DJ Phil might come in as well. Them three obviously had the big incident then. So Ukbar chasing down after Shane. Now, Bozzy Boy's on the back of Bryn with gaining another place through Kelly, having to pit. Here comes Smithy on the back of Monkey Boy. These two came together at the start of the race, and Smithy around the outside of Monkey Boy. Can he make that one stick into the bus stop chicane? Oh, he can, you know. He's forced his way through. That is great driving from Smithy there, but it looks like Monkey Boy is walking with a wounded car.
Ukbar, he's dropped down the order. He's at a moment. And I don't know if he's got damage, but he's slow in this section. And I think he's lost it in the chute.
I think you're possibly right. Maybe out the exit to the bus stop. Bozzy Boy pressure in the back of Bryn, who's trying to catch on to Rabbit Joe. Bozzy Boy, these last 3 races, had some good races, and he's going to look to send it, and that, Dale $8 short on the brakes.
Is he going to get the place back? Looks like he's not going to. Meanwhile, Max is all over the back of Argent here. Argent's just got to put his car in the right place. He doesn't need to over-defend. He just needs to put the car in the middle of the road. And Max will have to find a clever way to get around, because there is no obvious opportunity to overtake as Max gives him a bump. And straight in the pits comes Argent.
Why's Argent in? That is late. Oh, now then, he did get a blinder, didn't he? He had an absolute blinding start. Max leads from Shane then. Bozzy Boy's, Rabbit Joe's third, Bozzy Boy fourth. Bozzy didn't give that place back to Bryn. It's a jump start, you know. Oh, Argent. I thought he absolutely nailed it. It turns out he hasn't. Shane now fighting with Max for this race lead.
Shane is catching it fast as well. This Ferrari is looking very, very good here. Rabbit Joe now up in the P3, and more importantly, Liam is now up in the P4. But he will be under investigation for the contact with Bryn now. So we'll keep an eye on that. Dean's on a mission here as well. He's looking all over the back of Welshie. And Welshie quietly minding his own business, working his way up the order as well.
Yeah, Dean and Welshie have just kind of been... Oh, Dean! Too quick through the chicane maybe there. And he's just put all that good work I was about to say to bed, because him and Welshie was following each other absolutely nicely then, but that now goes to bed. So 2 drivers jumped the start, Argent and Kelly. Why didn't Argent get it done at the end of lap 1? I do not know. He's lost a lot of places then, and it could have been a bit closer to them drivers had he done it at the end of the first lap. Either way now.
Possibly, he's possibly hoping, waiting for most of the chaos to get out of the way of the first couple of laps, and when he does do it, he won't lose as much positions, but it's not quite worked out. For KLF, it's ideal because the pack is still close. He can still get onto the back of the room and make a few places up. But meanwhile, Shane is actually hunting down Max, and we've already got our first lap car, and that is Stealth Sloth, who's going to try and negotiate his way out of the way of Max. But obviously, with the rules state, he doesn't have to get out of the way.
He doesn't.
Max barges his way through.
Max, just very impatient there from Max, and barges his way through. Shane now down the straight. He's going to go up the inside of Stealth Sloth. Is he going to look up the inside of Max maybe into turn 1? No, thinks better of it. And Max here, was he right with what he said? Stealth Sloth very wide, so he didn't turn into Shane on the apex of the corner. Bryn now on the back of Ukbar and Welshie as as Ukbar looks up the inside of Welshie and just makes contact. Bryn has to go wide to avoid there, and that is... has Bozzy had a moment?
I think he has. He's
Did he? Somewhere. I wonder if he's tried to go wide to avoid them as well and has had a spin, because Bozzy was in front of these apologies.
Bozzy was ahead of him.
He
was ahead of him. But like I said, all this helps out the guys who've had to come in early. Kelly, Smithy, Monkey Boy dropped right down the order. Is he carrying damage and waiting until that pit window? He's obviously racing the pro and he's used to carrying that damage with him. So possibly doing that at this stage, save him having to come into the pits. But Welshie, with that contact with Ukbar, has dropped him down the order, and now he's got Dean all over him.
Well, it's Dean back. Dean's back on the rear of Welshie now. Bryn, after being spun round by Liam, he's actually... Dean just a bit hot on Welshie's heels, and I think he's tapped the back of Welshie there then. Don't let it roll into the wall, get it on the brakes. And now spins up the rears and nearly spins the car. Bryn, after his tap with Liam, he's now back up to P4 because Liam's had a moment, Ukbar and Welshie have had a moment, and Dean's had a moment, so Bryn back up into P4.
I think he might possibly have damage to his car.
Front right.
Look at the cockpit. Like, look at the glass on the left, right-hand side. I don't know if you can see that, but on my screen it's smashed.
No, it's clear. It's dirty, but it's clear. But when you go to this view, his front right bumper is very much dinged up. Yeah, that's not going to help. Either way, pit window's open for Bozzy Boy at the end of lap 4, so he can pit now and get that in and out the way. As Max Mulder comes through turn 1, he's still got Shane within 0.7 of a second. Just half a second Shane lost to Max on the last lap. Ukbar trying to recover. Rabbit Joe kind of in no man's land. And what is that behind? Oh, I tell you what that is. I tell you what that is.
That's Bozzy.
Bozzy's been disqualified. Speeding in. You know what them bits are flying around, don't you?
That's the water.
The water things at the beginning of the pit lane. Has Bozzy lost it going into the pits with his damage?
Possibly so. Look at the state of Dean's car. He's lost the rear wing, so Leon Fernie's not in better shape either. A lot of these guys struggling here by the list of things. So, like I said, it's all about who could keep it clean. And so far, Bruno Ukbar now catching on to the back of Stal Sloth, who's very much struggling ahead of him. This is boding well for the pro later tomorrow night.
Boding very well. So Liam, then, I think Liam's been disqualified there because his car sat in the pit lane. So that would, to me, signal a disqualification, speeding in the pit lane or maybe backwards in the pit lane. Dean Monkey Boy in, Argent's done his stop as well. Surprised we didn't see Kelly in at the end of lap 4. Dean, we know rear wing, I think, has been jumped now by Monkey Boy. And for Kelly, he's up to P8 and he's just starting to gain on the back of Smithy. So does Kelly maybe think of a pit stop at the end of this lap? I wonder, as Dean is on his way out the pits now. And yes, comes out the pits. You're about to see that come off. There it is. So them 3 drivers have done their pit stops. Obviously, DJ Phil, Leon Fernie and Stal Sloth all pitted on lap 1. But I think you said that Leon's still struggling with damage?
It looks like it. Yeah, he's got slight damage to the front end of his car, but I don't know if it's from the old damage, I'm not sure. But either way, Smithy now has dropped behind Kelly, so somehow Kelly's got him done relatively quickly. And I know for a fact that Kelly will look after his car to a point where, like, he's allowing the car to get to that precious pit section, I'm going to say. Into the sweet spot, I think. Welshie in on lap at the end of lap 5, so that's Welshie who's in for his stop. In comes Smithy then, and KLF. So I said I was surprised we didn't see him at the end of 4. He's coming in at the end of 5. And Argy Bargy looks like he's going to clear the pair of them. Can he get ahead of Welshie? That's the question. Shane is kind of just sticking to the back of Max here without gaining anything. Yeah, it's just the thing is, we say it time and time again. The Audi has a weird thing towards the end of the race. It seems to struggle. I don't know what it is. I still can't put my finger on it. But the Audi goes funny at the end of the session. Yeah. So Shane's probably just being patient, just waiting for the right time to pounce. But as of right now, he's in a very good position. Max is his only real championship contender. The other one is KLF, and he's currently down in P8. Monkey Boy's down in P10. So Shane is quietly going his own business here, and he's just waiting for Max to make that mistake. Liam just confirming in the chat, hit the wall on the outside, which spun him straight into the pit lane, hence the things bouncing around. So hence the disqualification. He's probably gone in A too quick and B, maybe backwards. And the only person who can get down a pit lane backwards is Dean Wisocki. Remember that a few seasons ago back at Long Beach? Either way, we're at Watkins. It's just American circuits. Clearly, you don't like people going down the pit lane backwards. As Max just gains 0.8 of a second on Shane that last lap. Leon Fernie now on the back of Monkey Boy. And Monkey Boy just struggling in this race, Dan. Yeah, I think he's carrying a bit of damage. I don't know how long he's trying to go for, but I don't think he's... he has pitted. He has pitted, but I think there's just something not right. 56-2. That's that's spot lap 5. So yeah, he's just struggling, I think, with this car around here, and I thought the Porsche would struggle around here. But saying that, Rabbit Joe, P3 at the minute. Is this because he's kept out of trouble though, Dan? Obviously we saw he got through all the drama at the beginning, and then he's just managed to keep his nose clean, hasn't he? He's got one of the cleanest cars on the track. He's actually half a second slower, was Joe, last time out to Bryn, so Bryn then maybe trying to look to get on the back of Rabbit Joe here. Michael Bembridge in the chat. Come on, Shane and Bryn, he says. And damn right, cheering on Shane, who's just closed that gap down a little bit. It did pop up to 1.1 seconds at one stage, but Shane has got the gap back down under 0.7 of a second here. And we said last season, we said this guy will win races this year. He's won 2. And I think he's well on for a 3rd win, Dan. He's actually getting closer to Max here. It's within 0.6 now. Yeah, well, we don't want him getting too complacent here. He has got to focus on just bringing those lap times down. He just needs to stick on the back of Max. One little mistake, we've seen it time and time again.
Ooh.
Max under pressure will end up making a few mistakes. Can he hold the pressure of Shane breathing down his neck now?
And Max was a little wide coming up the hill through the left-hander there. Did you see that? Nearly clipped the outside wall.
Yeah.
Through the corners we come.
He
He's definitely clipped the wall there. And this then could give Shane a bit of a run to maybe have a sniff up the inside into turn one. He pulls out now. He looks up the inside. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots, he says. He does not need to be asked twice. Shane leads. No, he doesn't, because Max is coming right back at Shane here. Shane just maybe a little hesitant on the gear change to let Max through, knowing that he had the inside line. Lift up the second part. Great racing from these front two. As Michael Horio, apologies if I've mispronounced that. Hey man, suck Ferrari. He says in the chat, Shane now slipstream to the chicane. Can he get it done? Thinks better of it and knows that his time is going to come here.
Yeah, that's very clever of Max there. He knew he was going to lose the fight.
Oh!
And he made contact.
Did Max go round?
Yes, he has. So who's that going to benefit? That is going to benefit Rabbit Joe.
Well, can you believe it? Rabbit Joe here leads this race. Shane and Max then, as they were. As Bozzy Boy leaves the session, he'll be back for race 2 where he can qualify in that one. Then Bryn down in 4th place. He's now been brought back into this scrap and he's catching these. He was gaining on Joe Ukbar as well, gaining on them. And Rabbit Joe now leads this race. For Kelly in the other Porsche, he's behind Welshie in a Porsche for 8th and 7th place on this race here. And could he use the slipstream there to just maybe slingshot himself up the inside to the chicane, Dan? Here comes Kelly. He has a look. I think he's too far back. And yes, patiently waits for this one.
Yeah, definitely. So he's just waiting for the right time for when Welshie makes that mistake or leaves an opening for Kelly to come down the inside. But Kelly is slowly working his way through the pack. I think Argent's still yet to pick.
No, Argent's pitted.
Oh, he has pitted. So Kelly's had a moment then somewhere because he was ahead of Argent as Rabbit Joe thinks, I'm going to pit now, as does everybody else. Bar Bryn, obviously, with the rules state, you can't pit on the same lap as your teammate. So Shane is in. Bryn has to carry on through. Ukbar. Has Ukbar pitted? I don't think he has.
Ukbar has not pitted, no. So Ukbar not pitted. Neither has Bryn. And obviously, the other one I hadn't marked down was Liam, but obviously he got disqualified, so I'll put a 0 there. So just Bryn and Ukbar left to pit then. So Bryn leads this race. Kelly now on the back of Welshie. Looks up the inside there. I don't think you're going to get the move done at that corner, Kelly. You've got to get it done a lot earlier than that. Shane and Rabbit Joe, Dan, are both out the pit lane, and Max is still in there.
Yeah, so has Max got damage? Has he forgot to shut the radiator
now,
or anything like that? He's done that before.
He loves a change of tyre, doesn't he? And we know how much wear you get round here on your front left. Has he gone for the change of tyre to be quicker at the end? Either way, he's lost out to Argent. So. He's not going to lose out to this battle, though. Kelly now looks up the inside of Welshie, down into turn 1. Welshie gives him the room, and that one from KLF. A lovely, scrumptious move there for KLF 900. It's as tasty as a Cornish Ginster's pasty.
You will not like that, but as you see here, Welshie with the slipstream, though, up the hill they go. He will have the advantage there, but obviously both of Matt Polacs, it looked like they're both suffering with understeer ever so slightly at the top of the hill. So Welshie now in the slip. Can he now find a way past? You can see he's getting closer and closer and closer, but he's going to run out of time. And just behind him is DJ Phil, who's obviously a lap down from these two. And he's actually a little bit quicker than
Kelly!
Oh, Kelly has a moment. He had a moment.
Had it hooked on the curb and did well to catch that. I'm sure that there's a few brown pants there that Haley may have to change after this one then, because DJ Phil, he looks a lot more comfortable. And is that the fact that it's just a chassis-based car? Now, Dan, Joe, 15 seconds behind Bryn. Has Bryn had a moment? Because that time's come down quite significantly. It was 17 seconds when I was going to say it. No. Has he put his limiter on relatively early there? Because we saw him at
very early.
We saw him at Laguna, didn't we? He was very hesitant. Now, Joe was 17 seconds behind Bryn when he came out the pits. Bryn was 7 seconds behind Joe when Joe pitted. So that is a 24-second loss Joe had in the pit lane. So a 24-second loss. This could put Bryn, you know, ahead of maybe Argy Bargy. Where's Bryn off the limiter? Because let's not forget, Bryn barely has to brake for turn 1. Here comes Argent. I think Bryn will be out before Max. Argent goes through, and Bryn off now. No, he's lost out to Argent, but will stay ahead of Max Mulder then. And this will massively help his teammates out. But obviously, under investigation for that bit of a clip between Shane and Max on lap 8. Lap 10 we're on now then. And it's Ukbar from Joe, from Shane, from Argent, from Bryn, from Max. But Ukbar still yet to pit. And if it is a 24-second pit stop, that'll put Ukbar about 6 seconds off the back of Max Mulder here then. As Smithy looking to get past Monkey Boy now. Monkey Boy just doesn't seem to have much pace today.
No, I think he's just struggling. I don't know what it is, possibly setup or just the track in general. He just does not look comfortable here. KLF now looking to try and get onto the back of the leading pack. He's now dropped Welshie, but Max is on a mission now to try and find a way past Bryn. But we know for a fact Bryn will want to hold him.
Bryn!
As I say that, there's still Sloth in the middle of all that, so Bryn got tangled with Stealth Sloth here. Bryn and Max going side by side as they go towards the toe. And I think Max is going to get the job done. No, he's going to get held up by Stealth Sloth here.
Yeah, he's going to be bogged down by Stealth Sloth, who stays to the left. They now go 3 wide. Stealth just clips the grass and nearly shoots into the side of Max Mulder there. And Bryn will have the inside line for the heel, I do believe, and holds it well. And this just holding Max up a little bit. Did Bryn sustain much damage from that? That's the question. Now then, Dan, for Kelly, he wants to be within that 24... let's say about 24 to 28 second window of Ukbar for when Ukbar pits. He's at the minute 30, so only needs to find a couple of seconds if he could maybe jump Ukbar in the pits. Max all over the back of Bryn at the moment. Stealth Sloth struggling with what looks to be damage on that car. It looks a bit battered, and Max struggling to find a way past Bryn at the moment. Here though is Monkey Boy with Leon Fernie and Smithy gaining on the back of the pair of him. And Max once again down into turn 1. Bryn just breaks that little earlier than Max to get it turned into turn 1. And Max cannot find a way through at the moment.
No, he cannot. That Ferrari very good on this track. He's looking very, very strong. The other Ferrari is Rabbit Joe at the minute. Just brought that gap to less than a second. So we'll see how close Shane is. There he is. He is on the rear end of Rabbit Joe, and he is coming for him. Meanwhile, we go back to Bryn and Max. And Max at the minute can't seem to find a way past Bryn. Bryn, 2,000 off his best. Max dropped it.
He's dropped it all on his own through the bus stop chicane. This will massively help Ukbar out when Ukbar has to pit. Max is going to get going well before Kelly, I believe. It's only down to 3 seconds, though, I believe. Did Bryn lose it there? Dan, I think Bryn lost it as well. He must have done.
Yeah, he's at a moment as well. So this is... Kelly must be rubbing his hands together after his drive-through. Both of these cars are within touching distance now. Max is on the inside of Bryn. Bryn's going to go around the outside, but Max gives him a little shove.
Yeah.
Saying, "Nah, you're not having this, mate. I'm coming through." And he does
Bryn's
so.
lost
Bryn
it.
goes round.
I wonder if Bryn's got damage then from when he hit the wall. He stays perfectly still and waits for Kelly to go past. Another man, Dan, that this must be rubbing his hands, is the man in the current net lead of this race, Ukbar. 15 started, which means the top 7 cannot qualify for... Sorry, the tops... Yeah, no, top 7 cannot qualify for this race.
I thought it was top 8.
It might be top 8.
It's top 8.
PN, if you're in the chat, quickly skim through the rules to find out how many start. I believe it might, yeah, I think you're right, actually. I think it is top 8. It becomes top 7 when it's 14 drivers. So top 8 can't qualify, which means Bryn cannot qualify. Max is in the wall again. Where's that? That's final corner. Kelly's now P5. Is Max pitting to repair the damage? No. Welshie could gain on Max here. And have Max and Bryn both got damage from their earlier incidents?
Bryn's round. He just avoids Monkey Boy there.
Has to just pull out the way. I think these two are struggling with damage, Dan.
I don't know if they're struggling with damage. I think they've just... If Max has changed tyres, he could have had an issue of pressures. If you change tyres,
yes,
the pressures could balloon and go in a weird way if you've not set them up correctly. Or he's just pushing too hard. Like I said, as soon as you're on the back foot, you start chasing and chasing, and this track is a track that will bite you if you try too hard. Meanwhile, look at these two.
Look at these two. Shane, once again, looking on the back of another car. He's going to look around the outside of the heel then. Got around the outside of Ukbar there a little earlier on, and now is going to patiently just wait to get this one done. Ukbar, by the way, yet to pit. I haven't noted him down. He has. He's with Max again. Stealth Sloth must feel in the thick of this race here, even though he's a lap down. He must feel right in the thick of this, because every time he seems to be lapped, the others then seem to drop the car. He has to do it all again. Shane, little wiggle through the final corner, was it? Who's that? Yes, so is Stealth Sloth. So what has happened there? Have Max and Stealth Sloth came together, because Max and Stealth, no rear wing for each driver. This is dramatic for the championship.
Massively, and Kelly is in a decent spot to score points as well.
Oh!
And he's in the wall big time now. Max is struggling. Shane, on the other hand, still can't seem to find a way past Rabbit Joe.
He's got a great run. He has, round the outside at the top of the hill. In fact, where is this? Yes, towards the chicane they go. He's already done him, and Shane into net first in this race. This man is on fire tonight.
He is indeed. Max is now into the pits. How long is it going to take for him to repair that damage? Leon Fernie now pressurising Bryn at the minute. And watch Max just drop down the order. 60-point gap.
Sorry, Dan. Stealth Sloth didn't pit with no rear wing there either. I think he's still on the circuit. He is.
Are we back in America where things start to glitch out a little bit?
Oh, God, I hope not. I hope not. Remember Bryn's car at Laguna Seca? Well, what we didn't find out till after Laguna Seca was Bryn's, who was battered and bruised, had no rear wing, actually did have a rear wing.
Yeah, and also, just look at... that hasn't got a rear wing. That hasn't got a rear wing.
Bryn...
Also, another reminder here as well. Rukbar's going as long as he possibly can, hoping for more chaos. But at the minute, just a reminder here that Max is Audi, and we're at the end of the race, and it's struggled.
It has struggled indeed, and here comes Leon Fernie at the end of this race. Struggled at the end as Max, like you say. I reckon Bryn's suffering damage somewhere. I really do. Max saying that Stealth Sloth, I presume, is teleporting always. We cannot do anything about lag. We have to deal with it with Big Boy Brazier on a Thursday night. It is one of them things. It cannot be helped. We just have to cope as best as possible. Max, if you would like to put something in, leave it out the chat, please, and put it in to the stewards. Stealth is lagging, says Jamie. We've gathered that one, Jamie, and you're one to talk, pal. But hey, Dan, that's online racing, isn't it? That is online racing. Lagging is a part of the online community.
Yeah, it is indeed, but no comment on the Jamie Brazier one. Ruined my race to Dubai, so just no comment.
Never. You and Jamie came together at Dubai. Didn't see that one coming at all. We didn't know, Dan. Fair racing from us two. As here's Leon Fernie on the back of Bryn, lap 14, just a bit later on the brakes, tries to get it slowed down, tucked into the apex nicely from both drivers. Leon just looks like he's got a bit more speed than Bryn here, and I do feel that Bryn's been in the wall 2 or 3 times late on in this race. I do feel he's carrying maybe some aerodynamic damage in this race, because he doesn't look to have the speed he had early on.
No, he's not as fast in a straight line, but his pace is coming back up again. He's 46.2, but he has got Leon breathing down his neck, so he will be looking more in his mirrors than he actually will be looking on track as Leon goes through that sector all over the grass. Stealth Sloth finally pits with that damage.
Yeah, Stealth Sloth finally into the pits, and an Ukbar has to pit at the end of the current lap he's on. In fact, no, he has to pit at the end of this lap. Now, unless I have missed Ukbar's pit stop, in which case I apologise, I am adamant, though, I haven't seen Ukbar in the pit lane in this race. So, PN, Jamie, anybody else in the chat, let me know if this man has pitted. If he hasn't, then he's probably only going to finish as low as P4. We said last week, when I was doing the highlights on Monday, when was the last time this man had a podium? When was the last time this man had a race win?
See, I had a sneaking suspicion Ukbar already pitted. But
well, we will see. We'll keep our eyes on it. Either way, he's got to pit. Excuse me, we'll find out in a few corners' time. Shane gapped Rabbit Joe. Argent now, 1.4 quicker than Joe last time around.
At a moment.
Yeah, he has. He's down behind Dean and Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie now cannot qualify if it is top 8. Top 8 can't qualify. Bryn's now down to 10th with Smithy on the back of him. So Bryn just struggling more in this race. Does it look a little twitchy on the front end, as if it's slightly crabbing a bit for Bryn? I'm not too sure. Either way, Ukbar is where? Coming up through the heel. The first red dot you can see. Stealth Sloth still in the pits. Here is Ukbar then, Can Argent catch Joe? That gap's coming down a bit more as well. I think Kelly's now too far out of the up bar reach. And Monkey Boy's trying to gain on Welshie. So Monkey Boy, actually, due to a few incidents in this one, Monkey Boy has gained some time there. Here comes up bar then. No, he's pitting, Dan. He stayed right there. He's pitting.
He is in the pits. He's hoping for a little bit more chaos drama. But he's going to get 4th, I reckon.
Yeah. I think he'll clear Kelly, but will come out behind Argent, and I think some way behind Argent. Not yet stopped at his box. He is still nowhere near his box as Shane flies past. Rabbit Joe flies past. Argent's not a million miles away from Joe. That gap is only a couple of seconds, and Argent a second quicker again. But this, the last lap of race 1, so he's got to get it done sooner rather than later. Now then, Ukbar on his way out. Kelly not yet at the final corner. P4 yet again. Dean Wasocki now up to 9th. Can Monkey Boy's had a moment because he was not far off the back of Welshie. And there's Monkey Boy with Leon Fernie behind and Dean behind. Dean gains another place here. Dean can't qualify for race 2, so tactics may be coming to play.
He can now. But,
he can at the minute, yeah.
So at the minute, the top 8 wouldn't be allowed to qualify. So Shane, Rabbit-Joe, Argent, Ukbar, KLF, Welshie, Leon, and Monkey Boy all would not be able to qualify for race 2. And we get scrutinised for doing that. Let me know for sure that I know that for a fact that you get scrutinised for trying to play the game. But either way, Shane pulled on a blinder race here today.
Yeah, fantastic race. He had one little tap with Max in the middle of the racing where they both lost time. But Shane, Monkey Boy's bumper's flapping around on my screen, so I don't know if he's got more damage. But for Shane here, while Max is down in 12th, Kelly's only 5th, and Monkey Boy's 8th, could be 9th by the end of this. Shane gaining some immense points in this one. Max took 1 point for the pole position, let's not forget. But since then, it has not gone Max's way at all. And for Shane, he's not won since... He's not won, in 3 rounds. He's not been on the podium in 3 rounds. He's back to winning ways. We said last season, this man could be a driver to watch this year. And Shane is going to take the race 1 win. A flash of the lights. A great drive from him. Rabbit Joe as well. What a performance. Another podium without the win. Argy Bargy there gets the race. It finishes off the podium with P3. Ukbar is going to cross the line for a 4th place. Oh, who's that spinning across the line?
Max spun across the line.
Right, so Max Mulder spinning across the line. That is a big no-no.
KLF would be happy they managed to recover back to P5 after a drive-through penalty. So, I think he's ready to be happy with that one. No pressure light, but he does. I think he'll be happy. Welshie, very good drive from him for P6, so good stuff from him. Leon Fernie in P7, so the better one out of him and Max in this one.
Indeed it is. Kieran as well, another one who can be happy. Drive-through penalty. Dean got Monkey Boy in the end. So Dean Wasocki cannot qualify in the next race. Monkey Boy can. Bryn, bit of an up and down one. He's shown great pace early on. Got tapped by Liam and then had a few moments himself. He'll finish P10. Smithy will come across the line for 11th place. Max DJ Philstofsloff already finished then. Fastest lap of the race. I don't know which way this is going to go. 44.8, 44.7 Argent. And then we just wait for it to load. So 44.7 Argent, 44 dead for Max Mulder. So Max, fastest lap and the pole position. So 2 extra points to go along with his 4 points for 12th place. We, though, are going to be right back in just a moment's time with race 2. Do not go anywhere.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. sun, staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport here for round 12, not the round 12, round 12 of the season then. The championship looks like this. 60-point lead. Max has lost 5 points to KLF. He's lost 19 to Shane, though, because KLF and Shane tied for second place now. Monkey Boy, after his 150th appearance on 126.79 behind Argent, sits now in P5 with Rabbit Joe in 6th. Dean Wasocki, 7th place. Ultbar gains points on him in 8th. DJ Phil is now 9th with Leon Fernie 10th. Bryn up to 11th, ahead of Bozzy Boy by a point. Welshie now up to 13th with Smithy 14th. Excuse me. Stelsoff in 15th place. Constructors, Audio Sport and Tour Pros only gain 3 points in that first race over the SRL Racing team, who sit at the top. Super Crash Bros, though, they're now only 70 points behind in this one. SFA Acora Racing are 112 off the back, with Terminal Velocity ahead of Wakasaki Racing by 7 points. Simplay Racing then 120. MC Motorsport bringing up the rear on 106. 351 Drivers' Championship points left up for grabs, and 611 Constructors' points up for grabs. And we've got good old sweet Caroline in the party. Kieran, talk us through that race, because it was what we believed a cracking start that turned into a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, just a bit too eager on the gear shift to get away of the line. But overall, take the P3, especially after a drive-through, coming through the pack. Can't be bad.
Good pace from the Acora today, and good pace from yourself in the Acora. Like you say, you come through the pack to get the P3, but couple more laps, you felt you could have had Rabbit Joe and Shane.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I say, I was catching Joe a second lap, wasn't too sure what pace Shane was running because obviously I just focused on Joe in front. But yeah, I was another couple of laps, but ran out of laps in the end.
Run out of laps in the end. The Acura must feel good around here. How does it feel? We said in the build up to free practice that it's very much a chassis circuit, not a lot of room for the power. Do you feel that today?
Yeah. Again, I didn't really come up against any cars. I sort of levelled mostly on my own, other than with Max at the start. So I didn't really get a chance to judge it against anyone else. But just be able to get my head down and do the consistent laps I know I can do.
And going into race 2, what can you do from here? Because you've had a good start to the night. What can you do looking like you're going to start 15th place?
Normally, with history, looking back, I normally have one good race and one poor race, so hopefully it doesn't continue. But I'll be hoping to get a start at the pack if I can.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy, and go and get them in this one. Dan, just before we head to Joe, Liam had a 2-place grid penalty, and now there's no P1 on track. Has he been disqualified for speeding in the pit lane?
I have no idea. Either way, it's he's not currently on track. I am having a look around.
That's Dean.
Liam have been disqualified. Sorry to butt in.
There you go. Thank you, Kieran. So there we go. Then clarifies that one up. Liam, his pit exit is right there, and the pit lane line is right at the bottom, and somehow has managed to speed in the pits every single time. So bodes well for him in this one. We go to Rabbit Joe now then. And Joe, a pretty quiet race for yourself. The only action you really had was when you got past Shane and Max in the middle stage of the race.
Yeah, it's just how I like it, really. I like a nice, quiet, keep it chill race. Bit of entertainment on the odd occasion, but I knew I didn't have the pace for today. I just had to keep out of trouble, and I managed to get P2R, which is really happy for me anyway.
Another podium for yourself this season, and something that you're really starting to get with more podiums in the season. Just can't seem to grasp that race win, though, at the moment. Is it coming?
Maybe, hopefully. I know we got Daytona Road Course some point in the future and like that track, but I just keep making stupid mistakes that are costing me. I can be defensive, but when that mistake comes, it gives the person behind every opportunity.
And obviously, I'm glad that yourself got in the podium. I was hoping for one of the three of you to get in here. We did the 4 hours not long ago. You did all 4 hours on your own. Just talk us through the difference from what you did the other week in the 4 hours of Watkins Glen on ACC to this tonight. What's the challenges and the difference?
Huge challenge is the game mechanics. It's so different. It feels so different. It's a lot more sharp and kind of jumpy on Project Cars 2, whereas a set of Corsa, when we did it, it's so much smoother. Partially maybe setups and also the curbs and everything about the game, but it makes it a bit more fun, and you've got to be a bit more on it, I suppose, with Project Cars 2. So,
going into the second race then, looks like you're going to be starting P12 on the grid. What can you do in this second race?
Try and keep myself out of trouble, move up the grid a bit, and see how it goes.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. Well done, and good luck in race 2. And we head now to your 3-time race winner this season. Shane, you was telling us off air that you'd not long woke up before this race. I bet you didn't expect a race win.
No, not at all.
How did that one look for you? Because it looked like you had some great pace out there.
Yeah, I was going out nice and steady. Had a few moments. Other than that, I was just taking it steady, to be fair.
Looked like you had a good bit of pace over Max at the middle part of the lap. Made contact with him, came straight into the pits, and then you had to kind of do it all again with Joe. But yeah, good pace all in all from the Ferrari. You managed to get past both drivers.
Yeah, it did feel like that. I think it was the third to last corner. Back end were quite loose around there, but other than that, it felt quite frantic.
Race 2, you're starting by the back, 13th place. What can you do, buddy?
Hopefully stay out of trouble, but it never happens.
Well, we'll let you get back to it as your teammate is currently on pole position. So we'll let you get back to it, and best of luck for race 2.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bryn then, Dan, on pole position, 44 dead at the moment. So looking like a Ferrari wins the race, and a Ferrari may be on pole. Max, currently well off the pace at the moment, hasn't yet set a reasonable lap time, we think.
I think that was an outlap he's just done, but he seems to be having a little bit of issues at the start of the session. But he's currently on a lap. We'll see what he can do. He's currently 29.3 off the pace. Once he comes through the first sector, we'll see how close he is.
Now,
in the first sector, 7 seconds off his best. So I think he's been running the wrong tyre, because he said in the Discord, what tyre is everybody running? So if he's on the hard tyres, he's been struggling all night because the temperature is way too cool for the hard tyre.
It is indeed. Now, by my calculations, did Kieran say Liam had a 2-place grid penalty?
Yes.
Right, so that will put Leon 7th, Ukbar in 8th. And
I
Liam,
don't know if it'll put him last.
Well, we'll find out.
From the session, and surely it would put him last.
Well, at the moment, there's no P7. Max is 6th, Leon's 8th. There's no P7 as Bryn crosses the line, and no improvement there. 6/10 down on his best, as the next car to come to the line would have been Smithy. That's a big hit in the wall. He's got chance for one flying lap. The next man to get to the line is this man, Max Mulder. And he just needs to nail this final part of the lap to make sure that he is not starting P6 and is as far forward as he can possibly be then. Gets that penultimate corner fine. Keep it out the wall at this final corner, Max, and you should be on your way. Nicely done. Doesn't quite use all of the runoff then. Comes down towards the start line. Bryn decides that he's had enough of qualifying, and Max only goes P6. 1 lap to find 8.5 seconds, and that is all she wrote. Where then is DJ Phil and Monkey Boy? Phil is just starting another lap. He needs to find 0.6 of a second. Monkey Boy currently on a lap, and then it's Stealth Sloth. So we'll see where Liam will qualify. That's the big one. Is he at the back? Is he going to be P9? I think the game might put him P9, just for the fact that there's no 7th place there at the moment. Either way, Monkey Boy currently 3rd. He's just done his 150th race. He's now on his 151st race start. 1 second off of Bryn at the moment for pole position. Here comes Monkey Boy then to the line. How the Audio Sport team will want a pole position in an extra point here. No improvement. Stealth Sloth, the car behind. What can he do then as he comes round? Final to do one more lap. Stealth Sloth to the line. Any improvement from him? A bit. 14 thousandths of a second. Max still going here, yet had that big spin. I can't see him really improving much on this lap down.
Well, he was 8 seconds down his best, and he comes to the split now. He's 4 seconds up. So he will jump Stealth if he nails this lap, but still has an extra place closer to the front. But yeah, I think if he ain't going to get another lap, but at this rate, he might be at least ahead of Stealth Sloth.
I think 4th, maybe it's a push. We'll see what happens. Either way, what an incredible job if he does get it on the second row. Stealth Sloth does not do a final lap. He is done. Max bails. So could have maybe gained on Stealth Sloth in this race. He's bailed to the pit lane. Only 2 men can take this pole position away from Bryn now as they come to the line. Here comes DJ Phil. What is he going to do here? Down the start straight. Is this going to be provisional pole for DJ Phil? No. No, it is not. So now we look to Monkey Boy. Can he take 2nd place away from Phil? Can he take pole position away from Bryn? Bryn this season not actually had a pole position. So this will be his first one of the season. We await Monkey Boy now. 2 corners to go. Gets that one fine. Oh, now just stayed within the limits. Now don't touch the wall on the outside. Really pushing the Porsche to the very, very boundary edge. To the line comes Monkey Boy. You'll have to find out in a minute.
I think he stayed 3rd.
He did stay 3rd. So, Bryn then, pole position number 1 this season for him. DJ Phil, by the way, on the front row of the grid in this one. We're not going to input Bozzy Boys just yet. We'll wait to find out where he goes. Monkey Boy 3rd then, with Smithy. In fact, we'll do the run through with the grid now. Bozzy Boy goes 9th. So there we go. 9th place for him. That promotes Ukbar to 8th, and that promotes Leon Fernie to 7th. Right, so Bryn, DJ Phil, row 1. From Monkey Boy and Smithy on row 2, Stealth Sloth and Max will let you catch up. There we go. On row 3, row 4 is Leon Fernie and Ukbar, promoted because of that Bozzy Boy's penalties. On row 5 with his teammate Dean Wasocki and Temp. P11 on row 6, KLF 900 and Rabbit Joe in the Porsche P12. P13 Shane and P14 Welshie. And at the back, Caroline Argent _22. What can he do? I absolutely hate this track and this car. I can't wait for next week. Watch me absolute send it in the race. Hey, we're all for send it. Make sure it is clean, though, please. As Jamie Brazier in the chat. DJ Phil, he says. Now, Dan, we're on the stream tomorrow. So we have to say, tomorrow night, Jamie Brazier is not racing. We have to give a massive happy birthday to his mum, who is a big part of Simplay Motorsport. If you don't know why, go and watch any commentary that me and Jamie have done, or Dan and Jamie has done. You'll understand then. But happy birthday to Jamie's mum, Lisa, I do believe her name is. We have a very lovely, I believe Jamie said her 50th tomorrow. We have a very nice 50th. I hope Jamie's brought you a lovely present and does all the housework and treats you to some nice meal tomorrow night. So happy birthday to you.
I've just read some interesting news in the BTCC. The Mini 7 Racing Club is on board from 2023. So
it seems to be that they've not filled the boots of the GT4 Ginettas and the Ginetta Juniors fully. Seems to be that they're dabbling with other series, just coming in for certain weekends when they're at the same track. Do you know what I mean? Like,
those classic minis are lunatics anyway.
Oh, we've lost Liam. We've lost that Buzzy boy then. So everybody else will be promoted. So Rabbit Joe now will start 11th. Shane will start 12th. Dean Wisocki will start 9th. Kelly will start 10th. Walsh will start 13th. And Argent will start 14th. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have to ask at the end of this one. Either way, we're about to sync up here. You hear the clapping from the audience. And it's green and go for race 2. And who gets the better start? I believe it's pretty even from Bryn and DJ Phil. Bryn looks like he's edged it now. Smithy looks up the inside of Phil into turn 1. And Phil round the outside of Bryn there, in the lead of this race. Max Mulder, was that Max very wide?
It was Max. He's very, very wide. He's gone a bit... He's gone a bit ruthless here tonight. He's gone very wide and dropped himself to the back. Ukbar and Welshie are right at the back. What's happened to those two?
Yeah,
DJ Phil leads after sector 1.
Who's in the pit lane? Liam's disconnected, so who is in the pit lane here? Someone's not readied up.
Is it Shane?
It's Shane! Oh, Shane hasn't started in this race. So we're down to 13 drivers. He gets a race win. Points over his rivals in this one, and he's not started. Dean Wisocki's dropped to the back of the pack. So does Leon Fernie. So if they made a mistake, and we're down to 13th and 12th for them two teammates last season. But we've lost Liam, we've lost Shane. What a shame here then. DJ Phil from Bryn at the start of this race with Smithy just behind, but Bryn right on the back of that Ginetta then of DJ Phil, and down towards the heel they come. Bryn's going to have a look up the inside later on the brakes. No, DJ Phil manages to get it stopped and turned in, and Bryn has to patiently wait behind. Smithy holds off Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe, Argent, Max Mulder, Ukbar. Then comes Stelsoft, Leon Fernie and Dean Wisocki in this one. So what a shame to have lost Shane in this race.
Yeah, what a shame indeed. Shane just for getting too ready up there.
His game's crashed. He's texted me on Facebook, his game's crashed. That's why it's not readied up. Oh, well, what a shame for Shane there then.
That is a big shame as Max goes around the outside of Argent.
Is Argent still there?
Oh, no,
he is
still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
So these are side by side. Audi versus Acura.
Yeah. And Plover will know all about this, and Acura holds off the Audi at Watkins Glen, and Max has to wait yet again, and Kelly, oh, look at this from Bryn. Wow, scrapes the wall, NASCAR style from Bryn there. If you don't know what I'm on about, you missed what happened at the weekend in the NASCAR. Bryn there, in fact, Monkey Boy looks like he's in the wall as well, and Rabbit Joe, thank you, easy as you like, I'll have P4.
Yep, can he get that win before Daytona? He should really get a win before Daytona, because Daytona's the last race of the season. Meanwhile, in the background, Argent is still defending from Max, and Max is getting impatient now. You can see him. He's all over the back of that Acura. And while they're too busy adjusting for position, Kelly is slowly working his way through. He's now onto the back of his teammate, but Argent looks like he's got more pace than Kelly here, to be fair.
He does. Kelly looks a little slow. I don't know if he's just patiently waiting or We've said the Porsche all night hasn't looked a great car. Max having a look up the inside of Argent, has to go to the outside now of Argent. Argent's trying to go around the outside of KLF as well, so that forces Max even a little bit wider. Max now gets the better exit. Does he have the straight line over that Acora? I think he should have, although Argent being pulled along by Kelly now can come in front of Max, and Max tries to go round the outside the long way. As we go back to DJ Phil, Max and Kelly both very wide in the background you saw there, and has Max been able to hold that one in? I think he may have just have. And yes, Twitch! Losers.
Yeah, the twitch. He just avoided the wall, luckily. But he did have a big twitch there. I thought he would in that sector. Monkey Boy very wide, but he's all over the back as Max Mulder goes very wide again. And really looks like he's struggling here. I'm really not looking forward to getting in my Audi tomorrow.
And this is a shame for Shane because he could have had so many more points. Monkey Boy having a look up the inside of Rabbit Joe, but it is just a look. It's nothing more than that. Bryn now has got past DJ Phil and is a second up the road, so Bryn has gone. Didn't see that one happen. Leon's past Stealth Sloth in the background. They've got Welshie just in front of them. Ugbar is kind of in no man's land. He's ahead of the train at the back, but he's not near this gaggle of cars at the front. There's Leon Fernie and Welshie. Here's Dean Wasocki then, who is currently last at this moment, as Liam saying, what the F, that's an absolute joke. So I'm not quite sure what he's on about there.
I'm not sure either, but either way.
Rabbit Joe's got past Smithy.
Yeah, he's done that earlier on, just before we switched to if you were the driver. So
Argent's past Kelly as well, Dan.
Yeah, I think Kelly's had a moment somewhere possibly and just lost out to Argent. Argent is all over the back of Monkey Boy and Smithy, so maybe it's all concertinaed up a little bit.
Oh, he's not now! He's not now! He's had a big spin, and the lap before the pit window stays still. He pulls out of Ukbar's way, and Ukbar had to take to the grass there, but Argy Bargy, all that good work he has done has just come. Oh, what's happened to Phil? Oh, he's the wrong way now. So Phil the wrong way. Has it just warmed up a little bit, Dan? And people, I don't know, it looks exactly the same as race one, but people just struggling here early doors. So it's Bryn from Rabbit Joe, from Smithy, from Monkey Boy, from Kelly, from Max Mulder then. Max all over the back of Kelly, Kelly on the back of Monkey Boy on the back of Smithy, Kelly playing rear gunner at the moment. And we were just saying, you was just about to say how Argent looks so good in this race today. Monkey Boy misses his braking, has to go straight on to avoid the back of Smithy. Max trying to chop at the bits of Kelly's car, and they both gain a place as Monkey Boy now runs wide, down towards turn one. Here comes Max, the outside of Kelly, brakes early. Kelly looks on the inside of Smithy. He now has to avoid the back of Smithy, and he now makes a mistake and allows Max into P4.
Smithy's like the trolley train right now. All trying to find a way past him, and they're all struggling to do so. Rabbit Joe managing to do so. Can he hunt down Bryn now? That's the question, but Max is on a mission now. He's cleared the two Porsches of the Team Audio Sport Old Pros, and now can he work his way past Smithy? That is the question. Bryn out in front. Are we going to have a round where possibly Max not won a race at all?
Possibly so. Are we going to have a new race winner here? Obviously, Shane's now won 3 races this year. Bryn looking for his first of the season. He's not won since Imola last year. And Max right round the outside of Smithy. Smithy, though, can get on the power a little bit earlier than Max. Tries to keep Max to the outside, but Max will have the inside line for the next corner. Does he back out of it? Does Max? No. Looks straight up the inside. Bit of a twitch mid-corner, and Smithy is helpless to that one. Max back on the podium at the moment.
Yeah, Max back on the podium, and now he's got to try and hunt down Rabbit Joe. Remember, the Audi looks very strong at the start of the race, but afterwards it seems to fatigue a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on that. Smithy's still on the back of though of Max, and Kelly's work going with him. Argent in a bit of a scrap with Leon Fernie as the pit window has opened this lap, so the guys can pit under this window, but Welshie now on a recovery drive also.
He is indeed. We didn't see what happened to Welsh at the start of the race, or Dean Wasocki. He's down in 12th. He's got past Stealth Sloth as Smithy then. Now down to 4th, trying to stick with Max. Who pits early? Do we see any? I think Kelly's going to box early. He is.
He is so, indeed.
Lap 4 for KLF then. And, yeah. Leon, a spin. Who's that? That's Argent coming in. Leon's had a spin in a moment. DJ Phil avoids, Welshie avoids, Argent, Leon Fernie come in. There's just a lot of individual mistakes tonight, Dan.
Wow, Kelly stopped there.
Good stop.
He barely stopped and he kept going. He has got that pit stop down to a T, he has. But now Rabbit Joe under pressure from Max, and even Joe said himself he needs to get rid of those mistakes that he's having. As Welshie now all over the back of DJ Bill and all over the curve at the same time.
Let's talk about Welshie a minute, Dan, because he just seems to look like he's getting better and better and more adapted to that Porsche every week, doesn't he? He seems to start to be growing in confidence in it.
Yeah, definitely so. I think the Porsche, it depends on the circuit, really. The Porsche can be a massive hinder, or it can be a great car to be in, and it adapts to most circuits. So, yourself, you struggled with it, but
yeah.
I've had 2 wins in the championship with it, and it's definitely a car that I couldn't find a single circuit where it was weak. It was near enough strong everywhere.
You look at Gary as well, 2 championships in it, and many race wins in the Porsche, as well as yourself. Little each took some wins. Biggs had a few wins in it as well. A few people have done well. This man's done well in the Porsche whenever he's been in it, as is KLF. And we remember what Nicky used to do in it as well in the Pro-Am. He's had good times in the Porsche. Well, she just seems to be gelling with it at the moment. Max, though, has had a few wiggles on the back of Joe. Just seems to be a lot quicker. He has more speed than Joe at this stage of the race. But Joe, at the minute, says he needs to cut out his own mistakes in the interview just now. Can he maybe use this time to keep Max at bay and maybe just try and stop them errors? Has Welshie just had a moment as Smithy, Monkey Boy and Ukbar all in the pits. Ukbar with an early stop in this one.
Yeah, Ukbar is in. DJ Phil will not be able to pit now under this pit window. So Welshie goes through as well. But right now, Max is on the back of the Porsche.
Oh, what a run! What a run!
Run!
But he had to get off the power there.
I think Joe might have had a little wobble or something at the top of the hill or something, and Max had to bail out that one. He's going to go around the outside of the inner loop, and he gets the job done. Rabbit Joe was not able to hold that position.
I think he's just passed off the track there, Danny's. Well done to Max for letting Joe back through. I wonder if he's just missed the first part of the chicane there and lets Joe back through, as Dean and Stove Sloth have also been in the pits. And an old friend in the chat. Very good evening to you, Nicky, as Kelly's now back into P6.
Just as we go on to Nicky, he's been commenting on my photos today, so nice to see Nicky in the chat. But he's cleared Smithy, importantly. He has cleared Smithy. Yeah. And Kelly was behind him, so Kelly's undercut has worked.
Kelly's net leader out of all the drivers who's pitted at the moment. So Kelly net leader on that one.
Bryn as well. So if Bryn has a bad stop,
we reckon 24 to 28, don't we? Is what we said in race 1.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly's stop though was phenomenal, wasn't it? It was phenomenal pit stop, and Kelly obviously knows how to get the best out of his pit crew. He's employed a few from Red Bull that they apparently made redundant.
Well, clearly they are. They're here at Watkins, but anyway, we're not saying that his team's a cheat.
No. Now, Max has repassed Rabbit Joe and is now going to chase after Bryn, but 5.2 seconds the gap is. Apologies, I wasn't looking at the time.
You're having sleep today.
I don't know about this second race. It just, I don't know, qualifying practice.
You missed a few.
Yeah, I don't know. This track just seems a bit of a lull, if you ask me, but plenty's happened. I'm too busy admiring the Christmas tree, then, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh my God, you mean that tree, man.
Welshie into the pits then at the end of lap 6, and Kelly gets past Welshie then. So where will Welshie feed out? Smithy's going to come through as well. Bryn 5 seconds ahead of Max. What can Max do? Well, it sounded like he had a bit of a tyre squeal coming through there. So we know that, like Dan says, and like we saw in race 1 this week.
Hello,
who's
Smithy.
that? Straight out the pits up the inside of Ukbar?
No, he undercutted Ukbar. He did the switchback.
Smithy, what a guy.
That was cheeky. That was a good little move there from Smithy. I'm impressed.
Yeah, but he's not called the GOAT for nothing, you know. As the Ginetta versus the Acura down towards the chicane they come. Smithy a lot earlier on the brakes than Ukbar, and can't do anything about that. Ukbar, though, a little wide. Is that to give Smithy the room? Smithy's not there, and Ukbar gets that job back done. Welshie then out the pitch, just ahead of Dean Wysocki then. So a bad stop for Welshie, who was battling. Who was he battling? Was he battling Leon Fernie? I can't remember. It's just dropped down a little bit. So Welshie...
I think he was around the Monkey Boy.
Yeah. I believe you're right. Argent's gaining on Monkey Boy. So Argent's only a couple of seconds off the back of him. Argent wants another good result. He said, didn't he?
Monkey Boy's just had his stop. That's possibly why. So all these guys had their stop. Yeah, I think, yeah. So Welshie's been in, Monkey Boy's been in. So Argent now is in his kind of, his lull as such. As Bryn, I think, has had a moment. He's lost a little bit of time. Max has just pumped in a 45-0. So yeah. Bryn is he's staying consistent, but Max is on the pace now.
100%. Bryn is flat out. I've just realised I've muted my mic. I was talking to you, but I don't know how I've muted my mic there. Either way, Bryn's flying at the minute. He's doing good pace for himself, but Max is absolutely on it as DJ Phil comes in at the end of lap 7, and Kelly now P4. But he's 30 seconds behind Bryn. So Kelly's lost some time to Bryn somewhere then as Max comes through the chicane. No, Tony, I've not got the lights on just yet. There's no duck baubles on the tree. It's just the tree that's up with the lights right round. So we could hide the wire from the 4-year-old nephew. But the baubles will be going on soon.
God's sake. Anyway, halfway through this race at the minute, lap 8, and Bryn, Max, and Rabbit Joe still yet to pit. As DJ Phil drops all the way down to 10th, so he's at a... Is he still there? I think he's still there.
He's still there. He is still there. He's having a nightmare pit stop. There might be a special event coming up, Nicky. It'd be great to see you back for a special event as we come down to Christmas. I'm sure we'll think of something and get something going, but DJ Phil is still in the pits down, and Stelsoft's now got past him. He's about to become a lap down.
Finally gone.
Lost a lot of time. Yeah. That's ruined his race there. And I think Bryn is just he's just kind of patiently coming into the pit lane here as Bryn comes in then at the end of lap 8. I think Bryn's just more cautious on his pit entries. Got that time penalty, didn't he, last week? And does he seem to be a bit cautious because of that? Rabbit Joe follows him in as well.
Question is, where is Kelly going to drop in all this? Obviously, he's not lapping as fast as the leaders. He's only doing a 47.2. Well, Max, look at him. He's in the 44s now. He's flying now. He's got open air. Bryn is in the pits. Rabbit Joe has stopped for his pit stop. Bryn, where is he? Has he stopped already?
Bryn stopped. Bryn's on his way out. So Bryn out the pits. And we said about 24 seconds. The gap was 30. So 24 to 28 we predicted. The gap was 30 seconds, Bryn to Kelly, when Bryn came in the pits. And because of Bryn being a bit cautious at pit entry, the gap is now 4 seconds. So, yeah, about 26 seconds there for Bryn in the pits, in and out. So not too bad a job for Bryn. And the crew, Leon Fernie, after his stop, has now made a big mistake as well. And that then has cost him. Can Welshie and Dean Wysocki get on the back of him? Dean looking for some more points in this race, as is Welshie. KLF then on the podium here. And now can hunt after Bryn. Bryn's had some good pace, however, Kelly, in this race at the minute. Upball behind is one to keep an eye on in the 45s. Joe comes out P5. And, Joe down in 5th place. He's got Smithy a couple of seconds behind. Argent's got past Monkey Boy. Just noticed that one. So Argent's got past Monkey Boy. The marshals to the side there was waving a green flag. Good to know that the American marshals just stood there waving a flag for no apparent reason. And DJ Phil, what a great start to the race, but his pit stop down has rather ruined it.
Yeah, that pit stop has really upset him there. And I think Max is he's going to try and extend this gap as much as he possibly can. No one's around, no one's in his way, and he's just going to go as long as he possibly can, a 45.0. No one's really in the 45s at all, bar Ukbar. And right now, they're all in the pack, they're all fighting one another, and Max has just got the clean air. He can now focus on himself and try and pull away from Bryn and Kelly.
Indeed he is, then, as Kelly is trying to do his best to maybe stay in front of Ukbar. Gap at 3.7 seconds. Sorry, the gap's at 2.9. It's 2.2. It was 3.7. Kelly to Bryn. Ukbar there was had a bit of lag there because he bounced off the curb and then just turned very strange. Max then, we know the Audi starts to become strange after its pit stop. Is Max thinking of leaving it as late as possible so he has less laps to do on a dodgy car than a fixed car?
Possibly so, as he now goes into the chute. And he literally has to be squeaky clean every single lap. He can't make any errors. He can't lose concentration. He has to focus on nailing each lap. Bryn has been very consistent in this race too. And we do think that sometimes when Bryn comes out of a groove, he tends to just make a few little errors. But at the minute, he seems to have got himself back in that groove relatively quickly.
He does, indeed. It was in a nice groove in race 1 and then just came out of it, like you say. But again, back in that groove, and Bryn driving a fantastic race at the minute. It's actually gapped Kelly a little bit. That gap has just crept up ever so slightly, and it's 2 seconds Kelly to Ukbar. It's 2 seconds Ukbar to Rabbit Joe. It's 3 seconds Joe to Smithy, and then it's 1.9 Smithy to Argent. And I reckon we could see the old switcheroo happen here, as Monkey Boy is some 6 seconds off the back of Argent and has Leon Fernie within 3.7 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, he's not too far away. All these cars just strung out a little bit. Well, she dropped a little bit further back. Currently 10. Dimasaki not too far away from him. 5 seconds behind him. Stel Sloth another 12 seconds behind him. And then DJ Phil on a recovery though. He's up to just less than 2 seconds on Stel Sloth. So he might be able to get another place there. As Argent and Smithy now are together. And let's see what happens here. But at the minute, this is your closest fight. And they are teammates.
Max, last lap, 44.8, absolutely flying at the minute and doing a cracking job. Bryn, 45.8, so Bryn's pace has improved actually since his pit stop. Kelly, 46.2, just loses out 4-5 tenths of a second, Kelly to Bryn does. And Ukbar, he loses, he gains on Kelly a little bit more as well. So ebbing and flowing, I think Martin Brundle used several times over the course of the Mexican Grand Prix. He must be watching Simplay Motorsport. If he does, let's hope he likes and subscribes. And let's hope the rest of you like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. Did you see what he did there, Dan? That's good, that was, wasn't it? Yeah. Sounded good with you yawning. So, yeah, it must have entertained you massively. DJ Phil on the back of Stealth Sloth. No, you're fine. On the back of Stealth Sloth, and that for P12 and 13. Max Mulder catching the pair of them. Max, the only driver left to pit in this race.
What does Max do now? Obviously, I think it's going to be a tight gap between him and Bryn at this stage. 25 seconds. Oh, there's DJ Phil facing the wrong way. He is catching Stealth Sloth, and he had a little incident with Stealth Sloth last time. So, is he going to want to pit before he catches Stealth Sloth, or is he just going to keep going as he's going?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? He's going to keep going, is the answer to your question there, Dan.
And jump Kelly, and Kelly's, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, Kelly's fifth. Oh, he's round. He's round. So what has happened to KLF? Oh!
Oh, and he just hit somebody. I think he's hit
Smithy. Was it Smithy? Now, Kelly hasn't really moved. I don't think moved. The American cameramen doing terrific work yet again, as always. Did he hit Kelly or did he hit Argent? Because they both look like they've got front-end damage to me. But Kelly now...
Smithy had nowhere to go and kind of just barged his way past.
What has happened? Because Kelly running on a podium looks solid. He's now down in 8th. Monkey Boy 7th place at the minute. And Max, once again, carries on his way. Or is this the same lap? No, Max isn't that far in front.
As well. 50,
yeah, he has actually.
9,
he has, yeah.
Yeah.
Ukbar 2 seconds off the back.
They're letting Max run away with this one. Kelly's at the moment, he's got Leon Fernie breathing down his neck. Is Kelly going to have to pick? Because is he carrying the damage, or is he going to try and hold it for as long as he can?
Oh, the back end of that car does not look very nice, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I think he's had an Acura smack past it, possibly.
Leon Fernie round the outside. Oh, got a bit out of shape there, did Leon Fernie. And Kelly back up the inside, but that Porsche is walking wounded. And for KLF tonight, you've jinxed him, Dan. It's all your fault.
Possibly so. But the thing is, whatever happens to Kelly tends to happen to me the day after, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Could it start to happen to the overtaker so we can catch up a little bit, do you think?
I just wish it doesn't happen at all.
Yeah. That's fair. Fair point. Is there a car off? Is there a car? Yeah, Smithy. Maybe he's struggling with some front-end damage, and as well as Leon Fernie now gets past KLF, and I imagine he'll be past Smithy relatively soon as well. Argent now trying to get on the back of Rabbit Joe. That gap's 5 seconds. Lap 13 of 16 in this race, Max is on. And still hasn't pitted, and if he pitted now, he'd come out in the lead of this race. He's well ahead of Bryn.
Yeah, he'd be in the lead quite comfortably, as Bryn's only now coming into the final sector. Max is now finishing the first sector, so Max has got quite a healthy gap. He could come into the pit quite easily and not have any issues.
It's great to see Shane in the chat still cheering on his teammate and giving him the support that he needs and wants. Obviously, Bryn, stellar job. Could be on the podium either way because he's got great pace over Rabbit Joe. 45 dead from Bryn. 45.2 from Ukbar. Bryn straight back on the pace. What a shame he's made a mistake somewhere, because tell you what, he could be really pushing Max here on that pit stop, but with that little error, it's not going to be the case. Kelly now 9th. Needs to hope and pray that this car stays together. He's got 17 seconds to Welshie, and he can't afford any other errors at the moment. Bryn, 1.2 ahead of Ukbar at this moment in time and going great guns at the minute. Rabbit Joe's got to start worrying about Argent maybe, because that gap 5 seconds, and Argent took a second out of him last lap. And is Argy Bargy here going to be in the same position he was race 2 down, where he just kind of wishes for an extra couple of laps at the end?
Possibly so. Arjun, though, is that he's having a quiet night where he's just slowly picking people up bit by bit. And I think as well, just to see here, Ugbar is slowly picking his way onto the back of Bryn. So after Bryn putting that heck of a lap the lap before, he's now just under a little bit of pressure from Ugbar, I think.
He is indeed then, as Smithy and Leon Fernie now go at it. These two have history at Alton Park and Laguna Seca, as Ugbar getting closer and closer to the back of Bryn, as Dan says, and through into the final sector they come. The tumble dryer sound of the Ginetta. I hate the sound of the Ginetta. I think it's awful. As Ugbar then tries to catch Bryn, and Smithy's now been passed by Leon Fernie, and damage to the front end of that car, we believe, for Smithy. As Welshie not really making any inroads on Kelly here, as Ugbar is on the back of Bryn and has 2 laps to do so. Max still not pitted yet, just to note.
Yeah, no, he's still not pitted, but if he makes one mistake, these two are going to be in the pound seat. As Ugbar crosses line of 44.7 from Ugbar, he's had a absolute flyer there. As Smithy's still within reach of Leon Fernie, just popping up every now and then. Up on the times for me, he's just within that second still. I say that. Leon Fernie as
I think Smithy's still got the damage from on the front end for hitting the back of Kelly, and Kelly's obviously struggling with that as well. But Welshie indeed not making the impact on Kelly that I thought they might have made here at the back end of this race. Ugbar then just dropped off the back of Bryn a little bit at the early part of this lap. Not as close as he was he, at turn 1?
No, not as close, but keep an eye on Max. He's currently on lap 14. I think he's worried about his car being funny at the end of the race again. He's going as long as he can without any issues. He's now pitting.
Yeah. So Max Mulder then pits at the end of lap 14, gets it slowed down right now. So keep your eyes on Bryn and Ugbar. They're only just coming over the bridge. And here they come then. How good is Max stop? Don't forget, he had a bit of a poor stop in race 1. So needs to hope that he has a good stop in this second race to get in and out ahead of Bryn. He's missed his pit box! Oh, no! Right. Here comes Bryn and Ugbar.
How far down the pit lane is he? He's halfway.
He's about halfway, yeah. Down. Oh, Ugbar's hit Bryn! I think Ugbar's tapped Bryn! Oh, no!
Oh, God. Ugbar's waiting. He sat there waiting. And who's just gone through? It's the rabbit.
Oh, Bryn and Joe's now come together!
Well, that's an easy one for Max.
Well, Max is going to come away with this race win. Argy Bargy's going to... Oh, no!
Oh, my... Absolute chaos here on the last couple of laps here. Ugbar now trying to feed his way through the chaos. And he's back on the podium. But Monkey Boy's now on the scene.
You can't make this up. Rabbit Joe's now second. Ugbar's still stayed third place out of all of that. Argent's now up into fourth.
Thinking,
yeah,
what's happened?
Mate, he misses his pit box. Bryn and Ugbar had the best chance to get through after he's missed his pit box. And Max now sits 16 seconds up the road from Rabbit Joe.
He does indeed. Ugbar is currently in front of Argent. Argent's probably carrying some damage. The bumper is hanging off on the front of that car. But wow. I don't understand what just happened.
I think it looked like Ugbar was trying to get up the inside of Bryn. That tapped them both round. I didn't see what happened, Bryn and Joe. And then Bryn's trying to get going, and Argent comes around the final corner and just makes contact, and then they tap each other twice. And Monkey Boy now could gain some points, and they need the points if Max is going to win this for the Constructors' Championship. What's up?
Ugbar just touching the grass there.
All right.
Oh my God.
Rabbit Joe, 2 second places. Who'd have thought that tonight?
I think he's struggling. He's probably got damage when he hit Bryn, but Ugbar's probably got a slight tap. His car's probably the freshest, but either way, Bryn is the biggest loser out of all this.
Yeah, he is indeed. He is indeed. Then, as we go into the final lap of the race, poll for Driver of the Day come up on your screen now. Make sure you get your vote in for who you think is Driver of the Day. If you disagree with who's on that list, type it in the chat and we will add that to the column. As Bryn now trying to hold off from Monkey Boy with that bit of damage. All 4 of these cars, bar Monkey Boy, possibly has damage here. Joe 47, Ukbar 46, Argent 48, Bryn 49, Monkey Boy 47. Oh, 1 lap to hang on for Bryn, maybe for P5.
Leon Fernie's just on the back of these cars as well.
Yeah.
He's just there.
He's not done too bad, has he?
Track limits to top 60. So that one if he gets a move done later on. But Ukbar, I think his car's in relatively decent shape. I don't think it's badly damaged like Bryn's, but either way.
I think the Ukbar one, I think Ukbar's just basically got a nose up the inside. He kept it out the wall, didn't he? It was Bryn that was in the, as we say that, good drift, well held, carry on. It was Bryn that then became a bit of a battering ram from the other 2 as well, wasn't it? So, yeah. I think Ukbar kind of got away with it. It looked like one of them that he's got the nose up the inside. He's gone round. Yeah, down to 7. Oh, and he's had such a good race. You have to feel for Bryn in this.
Definitely.
He's had a good race. Leon bouncing off the wall then. But this man, Max, may be a bit fortunate to be in this position on the last lap. But hey, you take the good fortune with you and go on with it. He's not won the last 2 races. That went the way of Bozzy Boy due to a penalty at Dubai last week. And Shane race 1 tonight. But Max Mulder is going to come to the line and is going to be the race 2 winner then. And for Max, it is job well done here. Good job he didn't spin across that line there, because that would have been twice in 2 races. Either way, Max wins the race then. Ukbar, good a look to attack the back of Rabbit Joe. He's going to be on the outside for the hairpin. I think Joe's going to get this one done. Get on the power. Has Joe got the legs? Of course Joe's got the legs. He's in a Porsche, but Ukbar pushes him hard to the end. He's P3. We get to speak to Ukbar tonight. Argent, a 3rd and a 4th. Good night of points for him with Monkey Boy just on the back of him for P5. P6 goes the way of Leon Fernie. Bryn at the end. It all went horribly wrong. We say about the Audi going off at the end. Bryn went off at the end, P7. Kelly down in 8th. What happened to him? Well, we saw he had a moment himself. And then, we did see he had a moment. We just saw him facing the wrong way. Smithy, 9th place. Maybe what could have been for this man tonight as well. He was running so well at the start. Running on the podium spot. It's just gone bad to worse for him. Welshie, P10. Again, not the result he was hoping for, but the result nonetheless for a 10th place for him. D. Wasaki, points, I suppose, but not what he would have hoped tonight. He had good pace in testing. DJ Phil has just got past Stealth Sloth. These 2 are only at the heel. So DJ Phil needs to make sure he gets the end of this lap bang on if he's to come away with that P12 in this one. And I think it's going to be pretty hard for him to get this wrong at the very end, I think, for DJ Phil. As they come through the penultimate corner. They're at the final corner now, and yep, DJ Phil, look, has the gap over Stealth Sloth. Dan, I do believe we need Ukbar in this party. Oh, Stealth just clips the wall there. I do believe we need Ukbar in the party, Dan, if you can get that one sorted out. As Stealth Sloth crosses the line, P13, and DJ Phil in 12th. We await the fastest lap of the race. 44.6 from Max, 44.7 from Ukbar, 45.5 from Argent. So I believe the fastest lap has gone the way of Max Mulder. Yes, it has. So a win and the fastest lap of the race. And while Dan gets Ukbar into the party, then the championships look like this. What a shame for Shane, whose game crashed on him, and that is why he couldn't get in. He gains all them points over Max in race 1 and loses out in race 2. He's now dropped to 86 points behind Max, 78 ahead of Kelly, with Monkey Boy now 94 behind in P4. Rabbit Joe 5th, with Argent now moving up into 6th place. Ukbar goes ahead of Dean into P7 as well. Dean now down in 8th place, 3 points behind Ukbar. Leon Fernie up into 9th with DJ Phil 10th. Bryn up into 11th place ahead of Welshie in 12th with Smithy 13th. Bozzy Boy drops to 14th after a great week last week. Disappointment this week. Stealth Sloth 15th for Lucas Roth bringing up the rear. And in the Constructors' Championship then, it looks a little like this. 29 points the gap. SRL Racing Team to Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros. Super Crash Rose now 96 behind SFA Acora in P4 with Terminal Velocity Racing P5. Wakasaki Racing in 6th, Simplay Racing 7th, and MC Motorsport bringing up the rear. And we have Ukbar in. And Ukbar, it's been a while since we've got to speak to you on the podium.
Yeah, it's the first time this season. I think last time was in Kota, I think.
Talk us through the end of that race.
Sorry?
Talk us through the end of the race there. That was a bit crazy.
Yeah, there was 3 cars. I met. They were left and right, so I have to zigzag through it. And luckily, I missed them all. And yeah.
Yeah, good pace from yourself tonight. Good race 1, good race 2, a good night's worth of points.
Yeah. I sure needed those points. I had a bad start, vacation, so I missed a week. That doesn't help either. So, but I'm gonna try as best as I can.
Yeah. We go to Sakito next week. Should be a good track for that, Janetta. What do you think you can do around there?
I think if I get the car stable and the tire temperatures under control, I know that Janetta is a very fast car.
Yeah.
So when the setup is right, I should be okay.
Well, we wish you best of luck for next week and massive congratulations for tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
And we've got Rabbit Joe in the party. And Joe, I bet you didn't expect 2 second places tonight, did you?
No, especially not at my pace, but I just kind of came through the pack at the start, kept it clean, and rode my race with that little bit of entertainment I like at the end.
Yeah, it was very entertaining at the end. The podium was slipping away from you, and it all kind of... Well, I don't know. You tell me what kind of happened at the end, because, yeah...
Yeah, I was hoping that Bryn and Ugbar would come together. Not that I like it, but I wanted the place, so it happened, and I went through them. A bit of a kind of coming into with Bryn, but yeah, I kind of just worked my way, and then I kept it as defensive as I could against Ugbar. For that last lap, and I didn't bottle it.
Yeah, didn't bottle it. But crucially, like you say, tonight it's been a night of 2 second places, a night where you've been able to just, kind of work your way through the pack and avoid the carnage, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
Going into Quito next week, what can you do around there, Joe? Obviously, a track. I don't know I can't remember if you've raced there or not. Yeah, you have, because you've had a pole position there, so you must have raced there before. What can you do around there?
I gotta be honest with you, I can't remember the track, but I'll just do my... Yeah, I can't remember the track layout. But I'll practice, and I'll just do whatever I can, keep it clean, keep it consistent.
Look for that first race win.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations tonight, Rabbit Joe. It looks like you have taken the driver of the day from the viewers. Votes have gone your way at the moment, so congratulations on that one, Joe.
Nice. Well done to Max and Unugbar, by the way.
Indeed. And we head to Max then. Max, a strange night. A bit of disappointment in race 1, but jubilation in race 2.
Yeah, it was a good race. Got the pace, so yeah.
Looked like you missed the pit box on your stop. Was you a little worried that maybe Bryn and Ugbar could get you when you miss your pit box?
No, in the first race, my pit box was at the end, so
yeah.
I didn't think about it, and I went to the end, but I think, fuck, it's here.
Indeed. Apologies for the language there as well, ladies and gentlemen. Race 2, though, great pace, like you said. Good race win for yourself. Back on the top step, obviously, after last week and race 1 today. Going into Sakito, what can you do around there?
I don't know. I never, ever did any laps on Sakito. Just I don't like it.
It is not everybody's cup of tea. I'm with you on that one. It is not the nicest of tracks. Well, either way, best. Well done tonight. Great racing from you, Dan. Final words from yourself and your driver of the day, please.
Well, what an interesting night's worth of racing. Makes me a little bit nervous for tomorrow night. The Audi looks like it's got not the easiest car to drive around here, but Max has managed to bring it to the top of the standings for this one. I'm just ready for bed. I've got a thumping headache and I'm just ready to get to some sleep. Let's get myself primed and ready for tomorrow. Driver of the day, it's got to go Rabbit Joe. Solid 2 second places. It's just been the overall most driver of the night. So well done, Joe, and obviously well done to all of our winners tonight, Shane and Max as well, and all the podium people as well.
Indeed, then, that is all she wrote for tonight. I am as well. Yeah, I'm going to give it Rabbit Joe. 2 second places, I think, a solid night. Kieran, good shout out to Kieran, 3rd and the 4th. Ukbar as well, 3rd and the 4th. Good shout out to him. Max and Shane for their race wins as well. But I think Joe, 2 second places, hard to look past him for tonight. We head to Sakito then for Pro-Am. We are halfway through the season. There is 12 weeks left. Sorry, there is 6 weeks left to go. There is 12 races left to go. And Max maybe has one hand on this trophy. Too early to tell still, though. There is a lot that can happen. Thank you all for tuning in. Kelly and Smithy back in the commentary box tomorrow night, 8 p.m. GMT for the race tomorrow night. The pros can overtake and get back to winning ways. Can myself and Dan keep pushing that fight on with him? There's no Jamie, and I believe there's no Emplava, so a chance for others to maybe look at a top 4, top 5 in the championship. And I believe a new driver on the pro grid tomorrow night, so keep your eyes out for that one, see who that could be as we go forward into that one. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, have a fantastic rest of the night. We won't see you till next week, so have a lovely bonfire night. If you're doing anything on Saturday evening, if you're in the UK, have a great time Saturday night. 53 days till Christmas. And Christmas nearly marks the end of the season, so it's about 40 days. It's about 40 days left in this championship. Halfway through the season done. We will catch you next time. Good night.